Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters called the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
Welcome on back to the Friday Night Countdown presented by Bud Bear Subaru at the home of the Upper St. Clair Panthers. They're taking on the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils in just a short bit. But let's get to those classification previews. In 1A, the Clairton Bears, it's no doubt that they will be a tough contender. And Fort Cherry always up there too. However, quarterback Matt Sig taking his talents to Virginia Tech this year, but Fort Cherry just can't get rid of the Sig clan, can they?
No, there's another one. Matt's down in Morgantown, and now Cullen steps in as a freshman. He's a freshman quarterback, and from what I've heard throughout the rumblings is he can sling it. We know how good Matt was running the football, and I mean, really, for the last two parts of his career, the last two seasons, he wasn't able to throw much throughout. So I'm interested if that record, his passing record, will stand after 4 years of Colin Sig, but he certainly has a lot to live up to for the Fort Cherry Rangers. But don't keep your eye off of Jeanette. Jeanette's 6 wins away from 600 wins as a program. They only have 24 players on the roster, but they've got some good ones as well. If I'm picking one right here, I think obviously Clarendon has to be your favorite. Wayne Wade and what he's done with the program there out there at Tyler Boyd Stadium, and they got a lot of guys returning from that WPIO championship the season ago.
A lot of Bears returning in 28-2 over the last 2 seasons with 20 shutouts, 21 if you count that forfeit against Shadyside Academy last year for Clairton. Now moving on to Class 2A, St. LaSalle, the defending champions, they have 6 WPIAL championships, okay, Matt? However, they've only went back-to-back once, and that was all the way back in 1980. Can they do it again?
I think they can do it again. Tim Storino, and this is another opportunity. We were just talking about Kia Jones. He is going to be the reason why St. LaSalle could be and find their way back into another WPIAL championship game and get over the hump. Remember, they got there 2 years ago and came up short, so they got over the hump this past year. Can they be able to go back-to-back? I certainly think so, and all the way that things have shifted, you mentioned Bishop Canavan. I think maybe can the Crusaders shake things up in 2A? We're going to have to wait and find out. Bishop
Canavan moving on up, and of course under head coach Rod Steele, who is very familiar with the 2A classification after spending some time with Steel Valley in his career, moving on to Class 3A. Now, 3A is going to be tough this year. Avonworth, of course, the defending champs, coming off a state title, but Aliquippa is back, and Mike Warfield is ready.
Yeah, but Duke John Core is ready too. And
Yeah.
you know what? I think Avonworth's done it with good football players playing as a great team together, but now they have great players playing as a great team. Jaden Jones, he was one of those guys we listed as one of those rising stars. He's already a 4-star. He is going to be a game changer. There's a lot of guys that are moving up into that program that I really think are going to be household names by the end of the season. So Avonworth still needs to be your favorite, but you can't count out the Quips. We learned that last year when they came in as the worst seed and found their way all the way to a championship in 4A.
Never count the Quips out. And another notable from 3A is Amani Christian Saints. Say goodbye and say hello to the Propel Braddock Hills Lions, newly named. Still up to their same old tricks, but they just have a new name this season.
They do.
And now let's take a look at 4A. Again, another classification that some people got bumped up. So is it McKee's Ports to take?
It is McKee's Ports to take. You have the number 1 running back, not in the WPIAL, not in the state of Pennsylvania, not on the East Coast, the entire country. He's headed to Georgia. He switches his commitment from Penn State to Georgia. However, there are some teams and there are some opportunities that teams can step in and jump them. And, you know, I think Montour or Newcastle, we saw with the Newcastle Red Hurricanes, led by quarterback Marino Graham, one of the all-name team representatives in 4A. But I think Montour and Newcastle may be the teams to test McKeesport for that crown.
South Fayette, though, they might make a case for themselves, too, in the 4A classification. They're bumping down from 5A. And when you look, only 3 teams have won the 4A WPIAL class title since the PIAA split the WPIAL into those 6 classes. It's been Thomas Jefferson with 5 of those titles, Aliquippa with 4. And guess who has the other one? it is South Fayette. So do not count those Lions out. 4 classes down, 2 to go. What else is shaking up the Whipule in 5 and 6A? Well, we're about to find out, so stay tuned.
This is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. It's time for the Subaru A Lot to Love event. 0% financing for up to 72 months on new 2026 Subaru Ascents, Crosstreks, Foresters, and Outbacks. Bud Bear Subaru, Route 19 South Washington. Come see us. Visit us online at budbearsubaru.com or call 724-222-0700.
The honest dealer, believably different, Bud Bear.
Miller's Mini Storage has the extra room you need. For more than 3 decades, our storage facility in Elizabeth, PA has offered secure, affordable, and accessible storage solutions. Miller's Mini Storage has you covered. Simply bring a lock and key and keep your items safe at our location. New insulated units are available with dawn to dusk access. Storing with us is easy and convenient. Visit millersministorage.com today and reserve your space. Miller's Mini Storage, your space, your way.
At Ogden Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
This is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. It's time for the Subaru A Lot to Love event. 0% financing for up to 72 months on new 2026 Subaru Ascents, Crosstreks, Foresters, and Outbacks. Bud Bear Subaru, Route 19 South Washington. Come see us. Visit us online at budbearsubaru.com or call 724-222-0700.
The honest dealer, believably different, Bud Bear.
We're back on the Friday Night Countdown presented by Bud Bear Subaru. Alongside Matt Fargo, if you're just joining in, I'm Susie Cool, and we're at Upper St. Clair High School. The Panthers taking on Mount Lebanon Blue Devils, their 6A neighbors. But let's get back into those classifications, looking at Class 5A. Now, this is a classification that also had a lot of things mixed up, right? You look at West Allegheny, Thomas Jefferson being added to the Allegheny 6 Conference, and then you also look at Pine Richland wanting to come back with a vengeance this season after that loss in the title game last year.
Yeah, I think people are still talking about that in the South Hills of Pittsburgh with Peters Township coming back down 21 points to beat Pine Richland. But now it's getting close enough where Pine Richland can wash it off. And now it's a revenge tour opportunity for Pine Richland and the Rams. And it's a good year to do that because you still have your quarterback in Ubi Strader, and you still have Khalil Taylor, one of the all-time greats in the WPIAL. It is going to be a race of can anyone catch Pine Richland this season? And I think, Susie, a lot of those teams that you mentioned is going to be in that race. This Allegheny 6 Conference, can an Upper St. Clair, can a Bethel Park, can a Moon, can a TJ or a West A make a run at Pine Richland? And you get into the postseason in 5A, we've seen crazy things happen. So it might be the case that Pine Richland is the favorite, but I know Pine Richland isn't thinking of that. They're going to go into every game eyeing up and trying to put another 67-0 game like they did in North Allegheny a year ago.
And don't forget that North Hills head coach Eric Kasparovich gets to take on Pine Richland as well, this time for his alma mater. That matchup will be October 23rd. Kasparovich having a little bit of work to do with his Indians up there in the North Hills, but another storyline coming from 5A this year. Let's move on over to 6A, where it's Central Catholic, and a little bit more of Central Catholic.
Yeah, there's a lot of studs on the Central Catholic roster this year, and 3 of them are on the offensive line, and that does not bode well for the men in the trenches that will go up against them. At Central Catholic, you have James Halter, who's headed to Notre Dame, Jimmy Callis, who's going to Ohio State, and John Sasek, who's going to Penn State. You got Notre Dame and 2 big 10 offensive linemen, but also quarterback Owen Herrick, Zach Gleason, Roman Thompson, Ashton Blatt, Jaden Alexander, Chris Black. That's one team. That's an all-star team in the WPIAL. And, of course, you would imagine that North Allegheny is going to filter in their second. You got Brady Brinkley in his senior season. He's been starting since he was a sophomore, so he has some experience. But can NA get creative? Art Walker sometimes likes to go to the junk drawer a little bit and try to get creative to beat them. But also, I think good storylines for Cannon-McMillan and Seneca Valley as well. That's probably your top 4 teams in 6A.
12 power conference recruits in the last 4 years for Central Catholic. Other teams would be wishing to say that.
In a decade.
Yes, unbelievable for head coach Ryan Lehmeyer there with the Vikings. But we've talked headlines, talked classifications. Now it's time to talk a little bit about tonight's matchup. Prior to the season, Matt caught up with Panthers senior Ryan Robbins. So let's take a look at that now.
Friday night conversations continue with Upper St. Clair's Ryan Robbins, kind enough to join me. Ryan, I'll start with coming into senior season. Obviously, when you were going out of last year in your junior year, had a big decision to make on where you were going to go. You make that decision in the spring. Take me through that process before we talk about the season that is to come.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very fun process. I had a good option of schools, and it really came down to my relationship with the coaches, and I felt like Penn State was a great choice for me, and I really fell in love with their coaches and had a great relationship with all of them. So it was really a no-brainer for me.
What was that recruiting process like? I think it has to be interesting when you have so many guys that are trying to be your pick. What sways you one way or the other when you say that coaches became really an instrumental factor of why you chose Penn State?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of came natural. Like, it wasn't really I was picking between a bunch of people. It kind of just I kind of got that feeling when I went up to Penn State and I talked to all the coaches. I kind of just knew that those were my people, and those are the people that I was going to be most safe with going for college. And I mean, it was a fun process. Like, I really had no stress with any of it. It was just getting to meet new people, and every part of it was fun for real.
What do you think the biggest difference is going to be from last year's Upper St. Clair Panther football team to this year's?
I mean, I think we're just going to be a completely different team, and we lost our quarterback, but we still got another good quarterback coming back, and we just have people every year, and we just got people getting older and building into their body, and it's going to be a really fun year. We got a good offensive line, a good defensive line, and that's really where the game starts, and I feel really confident with our team this year.
You're going to get a lot of attention this year, but who is someone on the Panthers squad that viewers might not know yet that they might know by the end of the season? Who should we be on the lookout for?
Will Stahl. He's a great defensive tackle, and I mean, he really disrupts plays, and he's a junior right now, and I feel like he's going to be a great player. And his brother was a great player, but I think he has a chance to be the next one.
Yeah, well, everybody knows you as a football player, but you're a pretty darn good basketball player too, and so much so that you've been playing on the summer circuit too. How is that to be able to be still in basketball shape and still get ready for the football season?
Yeah, I mean, I love both sports, and it's kind of hard to say no to basketball and continue with football, but I have a really good connection with my high school basketball coach, and he's so good with letting me continue and play football, and he knows that that's my main sport, and that's the sport that I'm going to continue with. So he's really good with my schedule and making sure that I'm able to get in there to practice and get some work in, and also continue with my football team as well.
You were almost leading into the next question. I was curious, Danny Holzer and Coach Junko, who is more fiery? Who gets into you more in terms of motivating you and firing you up, or do they have different styles?
I feel like they both have kind of a similar style, but I'm definitely not going to choose one of them. I don't know if that would go great with either of them. I think they're both great coaches, and they're both great with me, and I really have a good relationship with both of them, so I really appreciate both of them.
You play in such a gauntlet of a conference, maybe arguably the best in all the WPIL with how many quality teams there are from top to bottom. Do you like that challenge, and does that prepare you for the postseason, or how do you look at it going into a season and knowing
how many tough opponents you have night in and Friday night in and Friday night out.
Yeah, I definitely love it. And last year we played a really hard conference and a bunch of great teams that we played, and they all had great defensive linemen, and it was a really good competition for me every single week. And I knew that I wasn't really going to have any off weeks, but this year it's the same thing, and I just got to approach it with I got to play my best game every single game, and I can't really take any off days.
Big fellas up front, they like their food.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? What's your go-to meal to get ready for a game day?
To get ready for a game day, probably pasta. I'll probably go home and heat myself up some pasta, or just in general, my favorite food is definitely Chipotle. I like to go there with my friends every day after, or not every day after practice, but I mean, as much as I can. I definitely love Chipotle.
Who's making the pasta? You making the pasta, or mom making the pasta?
Typically, like after school, I'll just go home and heat it up real quick, so I have some time to get a nap in or something like that.
What's the biggest thing that you're going to work on personally for this season? So anything that you're working on in your game or even outside of the game of football?
I just definitely want to be more of a force on defense and be more reliable to my team in that case.
Last thing for you, what's something that people don't know about Ryan Robbins?
I'm actually a pretty good artist, and I take a bunch of art classes in school, and I find a lot of joy in that.
What's your favorite thing to draw or?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a specific thing, but I just like to sculpt and stuff. So I do a whole bunch of that. Yeah.
All right. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ryan Robbins, another edition of Friday Night Conversations.
We'll be seeing Robbins and company in action in just a short bit in Week 1 action as they take on Mount Lebanon. Keep it locked here on your Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
The lights, the rivalries, the communities. This fall, WPIL football takes center stage on Thursday nights. 8 matchups featuring teams from 5 counties across the WPIAL. It all starts at 6 with the WPIAL Insider Roadshow, driven by Bowser. Then at 7, it's time for kickoff. WPIL Insider Thursday Night Primetime, presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. Watch live this fall on Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
This is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. It's time for the Subaru A Lot to Love event. 0% financing for up to 72 months on new 2026 Subaru Ascents, Crosstreks, Foresters, and Outbacks. Bud Bear Subaru, Route 19 South Washington. Come see us. Visit us online at budbearsubaru.com or call 724-222-0700.
The honest dealer, believably different, Bud Bear.
Welcome on back once more to the Friday Night Countdown presented by Bud Bear Subaru. It's time for those championship picks for who we think are going to take home those titles this season. Let's start with the Class 1A. I can't not go Clairton Bears for this. Look at what head coach Wayne Wade has done with this program over the last few years. 28-2, 20 shutouts. I'm not going against the Bears.
It's not just been the last few years, Susie. It has been the better part of the last 2 decades for Wayne Wade and these Bears. What he's been able to put together now at Tyler Boyd Stadium, it's picturesque, and now their field represents how good they play on it. I'm going to go with the Clairton Bears. I think maybe Fort Cherry or Jeanette can make a run. We saw Fort Cherry get knocked off in the semifinals last year, but I think it's the Bears again.
Where are you going for 2A?
I like the St. LaSalle Rebels again to repeat, go back-to-back. Tim Storino, I talked about Kia Jones Jr. at the quarterback position and the defensive back position, what they've been able to do I think they might be building a little bit of a dynasty over there at St. LaSalle.
I'm going to shake things up for 2A with Bishop Canavan moving on up to the 2A classification. Head coach Rod Steele is no stranger to being in 2A and now in his second season with the Crusaders. I think they might mix it on up in that class. Let's move on to 3A. You got to look at the Avonworth Antelopes for the champs once again under head coach Duke John Clair. He's got it on offense, defense, on special teams, and he's not messing around.
Yeah, they just do it quietly. I feel like they have a quiet dynasty. We're just talking about dynasties. They're still doing it so quietly, and I think that's just fine with Duke John Clair. That being said, they won the state championship a season ago, but I'm going to shake things up, Susie. I'm going to go with the Hopewell Vikings. Give me Boo Boo Armstrong, quarterback for Hopewell, already verbal to Penn State. We know what he is, and maybe he's going to be able to lead the Vikings to a title back like when Paul Plesney or Tony Dorsett was there.
What are you thinking for 4A?
4A, I think this is going to be interesting. Certainly the door is swung wide open when Aliquippa slid down in classification for the McKeesport Tigers and Keymon Spell. But can one of those other teams slide in there? That's going to be interesting. But I want the Tigers. They're going to be my pick.
I'm also going to go McKeesport. Now, when it comes to 5A, how can you not pick the Pine Richland Rams with all their D1 talent and that chip they're going to have on their shoulder?
Well, this is a revenge tour of all revenge tours for Pine Richland. Ubi Strader, Khalil Taylor, they want this thing back. And I don't know that I want to be a team playing them this year.
When you look at Class 6A, I mean, how can you go against Central Catholic? You just cannot with all of their powerhouse D1 talent that they have and head coach Ryan Lehmeyer.
Yeah, they have 8 D1 guys right now, and they're going to add to that list. It's unbelievable what Ryan Lehmeyer has been able to do in short time, and he was on the hot seat 1 year in. I don't think it's very hot anymore, and it's going to get a lot cooler because they're going to win another championship. Give me Central Catholic.
Western PA, the wait is finally over, and the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week is back. Upper St. Clair taking on Mount Lebanon in Week 1 action. Keep it locked here on KDKA+. Kickoff is coming up next.
For over 95 years, Giant Eagle has believed in better. Because freshness and quality never go out of style. Because knowing there's someone you can count on counts. Because your old favorite just became their new favorite. Because every meal can be a memory. Giant Eagle, helping you bring home the best. Today, tomorrow, and always. Because it matters.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
JRM Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of WPIAL High School Football, produced by JRM Video.
And we're live. Stand by. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle. What better way to open up the 2026 high school football season than with a backyard brawl? Less than 4 miles separate Mount Lebanon High School from Upper St. Clair High School. And tonight, these two South Hills rivals take center stage as we christen another high school football season as the Blue Devils meet the Panthers. And And welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Matt Fargo, joined alongside the former Pittsburgh Steeler, Arthur Moats. Happy New Year to you. Welcome to another season of WPIAL High School Football, and welcome to another Steelers High School Football Showcase. Arthur, this is the best time of year. Football is back.
Oh, it is officially back, and yes, you are so right. The excitement is here. I cannot wait for this matchup tonight, and let's go. The summer flew by. Thank you. Can we get some football now?
And we have a great one on tap for you. It's a rivalry game between these two, and you're talking about Mount Lebanon. Right now, they're trying to bounce back. Bruce Frank, first-year head coach, the fourth coach in 5 years for Mount Lebanon. And it's a good thing because he comes back. The last time he was here, he was leading the team as an assistant coach behind Bob Palco to a state title. Meanwhile, the other side, for the Upper St. Clair Panthers, they have Mike Junko, who's in his 8th season. He's the 5th coach in Upper St. Clair history. A little bit different between these two rivals, but it all doesn't matter about the history. It's between the white lines here at 2026.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And both of these coaches have to feel excited about where they are with their teams. If you're talking about Coach Frank, man, I got the new chance, right? New guys, new regime. Let me get these guys going. But Coach Junko, like you said, man, that's the guy who's been here forever, has seen it all, and it's all about finishing the job this year if you're on the Upper St. Clair sideline.
And we're talking about finishing the job, and the ways to do that is to know the game changers. Let's take a look at the St. Vincent College game changers. Arthur, how do you get a win here today?
Well, it first starts with owning the trenches. If you're Upper St. Clair, you got a Penn State commit, Ryan Robbins. Follow him whenever you need to get some yardage. It's a new era, but always. And I'm talking about Bruce Frank over there with Mount Lebo. Last time he was here, they were PIAA state champs. But we obviously know the old regime hasn't necessarily having the same effect in terms of productivity. And new faces at quarterback for both of these teams. Brody Whitehead will be breaking it in for Mount Lebo. And then, if you're talking about Upper St. Clair, Josh Snyder replacing the all-world USC passer Ethan Hellman. So we will see which of these young quarterbacks can get settled in and get this offense going.
All right, let's go down to the third member of our crew, Susie Cole. Welcome back, Suze.
Separate the 6A Mount Lebanon Blue Devils and 5A Upper St. Clair Panthers, and you can feel it in the atmosphere tonight. It's electric here at Upper St. Clair Stadium because of the way these two communities collide. First-year head coach for the Blue Devils, Bruce Frank, confirming that with us earlier this week and saying this game will be physical as well. Now, head coach Mike Junko for the Panthers saying that this game was a non-negotiable when his team dropped down to 5A just a few short years back. The history between these programs, it can't be missed every single season. So expect tonight to be fueled by history, legacy, a premier 6A, 5A matchup that we have on our hands with a ton of physicality. Matt?
Susie, thank you. As we get ready, they've played 50 times, and the series belongs to USC 31-19. It's Mount Lebanon, it's Upper St. Clair for the 51st time. Kickoff to week 1 to the Steelers Showcase and to the 2026 season. Coming up next.
For over 95 years, Giant Eagle has believed in better. Because freshness and quality never go out of style. Because knowing there's someone you can count on counts. Because your old favorite just became their new favorite. Because every meal can be a memory. Giant Eagle, helping you bring home the best. Today, tomorrow, and always. Because it matters.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists.
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance.
Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Friday Night Football in Western PA is a movie.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
Friday Night Football in Western PA is physical. The best high school football. Tough is the best football in the country. Legendary.
And he breaks free.
Friday Night Football in Western PA is electric and gritty.
He's got his man for the touchdown!
Friday Night Football in Western PA is electric. This is my school pride. This is where rivalries run deep. This is our teams, our towns, our communities. This is high school football in Western Pennsylvania. This is the Steelers High School Showcase.
Another season underway here in Upper St. Clair as the Panthers will kick it the way of the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils. USC and Cam Smith have this teed up to Mount Lebo. 2026 season underway from Upper St. Clair and fielded from the goal line for Lebo. Jacob Zaber on the return. Ball popped loose there momentarily. USC saying they had the football. Officials roll. He was down by contact. Boy, that would be a fun way to start things. A 22-yard return for Zaber. And our first look, Arthur, at the Mount Lebanon offense, who will bring out sophomore quarterback Brody Whitehead, but still a little bit of a quarterback battle going at it with Grant Everhart as well. We'll see how that progresses because in some ways, Arthur, they're looking at this as finding their way into the 6A schedule is because this is an interclassification game.
Absolutely, and whenever you're talking about replacing a quarterback, we know that is the most important position of your team because they have the ball every single play. So for young Brody tonight, man, we're going to see how quickly he can grow up, but I'm sure Coach Frank is going to want to lean on this running game early on.
That's Brody Whitehead from the shotgun at the 22-yard line. High snap was pulled down at a handoff to Jacob Zaber off the left side. Zaber churns his feet to the 26-yard line. Zaber, multi-sport athlete, great hooper, also great baseball player, and can play a little bit of football as well. And you see a lot of those in the smaller classifications, but it's always impressive when you're doing it at the 6A level and playing multiple sports.
Oh, you're absolutely right, because we know the bigger the school, the more talent you're pulling from. But with Jacob, man, you can see the explosiveness that he possesses on that opening kickoff and even on that run right there. So trust me when I tell you Coach Frank is going to want to lean on him tonight.
Mount Lebanon 2-8 from a season ago. Upper St. Clair went 10-3, lost to the semifinals. And this is a 2nd down and 6 after that pickup of 4, and pre-snap penalty blows it dead. Our first hanky of the season. It's a false start penalty on the offense. And this is going to be the small stuff when these two teams played for the 50th time at Mount Lebanon a season ago. 35-14 Upper St. Clair winners in that game. And the small things, that was something first-year head coach Bruce Frank was emphasizing, of making sure you're not getting those self-aided wounds to set yourself back.
I mean, whenever you're talking about trying to change the trajectory of your team that has had back-to-back losing seasons, has really struggled the past 4 to 5 years, you have to focus in on that little stuff, the minutia, to ultimately overcome some of these bigger issues that this team has had over the years.
2nd down and 11, ball now at the 21-yard line. They give it back to Zaber, and he's shut down. That big defensive front for St. Clair came flying in, leading the pack. The junior Will Stoll, and he is not an unfamiliar name to Panther fans. As a sophomore, he was great, but also big bro Nate Stoll was pretty good darn good as well.
You're absolutely right, man. What those guys can do in the trenches is very impressive. And if you're Mike Junko, to be able to have the front stopping the run like that while still playing two high safeties is definitely what he wants to see, and that's a recipe for success for that Panthers defense.
Pushes Lebo back to a 3rd down and 12 at the 20. So this drive has lost 2 yards.
It'd be interesting to see if they bring some pressure here, too, knowing that this is Brody's first time in a 3rd and long situation.
And here comes the pressure, play action, and it's not picked up, and he is dumped in the backfield, sacked on the play. John Banbury gets his first sack of the young season on the first drive, and Mocha called it. They brought the house.
Yeah, man, anytime you have a young guy back there at the quarterback position, you want to pressure them to see how they handle it, how they can maneuver through the pocket. Do they keep their eyes down the field? So for Banbury, beating the running back one-on-one right there, making the sack, big play for that Panthers defense, and it's going to set them up with nice field position to start their offensive possessions out coming up this next play.
Punt unit out for Lebo. Gaither back to receive. Kevin King, who will place himself in a variety of positions for Mount Lebanon, including punter, does the duties, and then Gaither calls for a fair catch. Good field position for the Panthers when we come back. First time out will burn of the 2026 season. Upper St. Clair, Mount Lebanon, right here on the Steelers High School Showcase, live on KDK+.
The $1 Eden Park Super Burger Deal. For a limited time, enjoy our endless soup, salad, and fruit bar meal and add a hand-pressed Super Burger for just $1. Unlimited salad bar options, plus a $1 Super Burger only at Eden Park.
Ranch fans, this one's for you. Salads, ranch it. Fries, ranch it. Roasted veggies, you already know. Ranch it. Creamy, legendary, world-famous ranch. Whatever you're craving, ranch it at Hello Bistro.
And we'll welcome you back to Upper St. Clair. Blue Devils and Panthers getting you ready for the first Upper St. Clair offensive series of this 2026 season. And I mentioned this is the 51st time that these two backyard rivals have played. USC dominates the series 31-19. But Lebo likes reminding USC they have more WPIAL titles. They have 8, Upper St. Clair with 7. As we get our first look at quarterback Josh Snyder. He was the backup to Hellman a year ago. Got a lot of work in the later parts of games that Upper St. Clair was taking care of business in. Snyder actually scored a touchdown in this game a year ago on a option play. 6'2", 190-pound junior, and a handoff to John Banbury, who got that sack to get things going for the USC defense, and then some chippiness away from the play, and it gets a late flag.
Might be on the second guy right there, man. Anytime you talk about, man, a big name recruit, man, we know Ryan Robbins. If you're a defender, you're amped. You want to get under his skin, and it looks like that might have just happened.
Oh, going to go offsetting. So Banbury's run counts into Lebo territory. So USC has run one play, and they're already in opponent's territory this season. Talk more about Ryan Robbins and what he's meant to this program And the bad snap, Snyder back to fetch it, and a nice job to get to it because he's planted way back. Sean Huff on the stop. It's an 8-yard loss, but almost, if you're Upper St. Clair, Arthur, you have to be happy with Snyder being able to secure the football.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the center right there, unfortunately, did not have the best snap. So when that happens, quarterback's job is to maintain possession by all means. And that's what he did right there. You don't care about the loss of yardage. The possession matters the most, and you feel like you can either make it manageable for a putting situation after this play, or you feel like your offense can still maybe pick this up. But we will see how Coach Junko trusts his young quarterback in his first start.
3rd down and 18 from the 39. Back to pass. Screenplay sent up to Banbury, and Lebo has it read beautifully. Easton Darcy comes in to make the stop. A senior on the tackle, and Lebo maintaining all assignments on the screenplay, and it's 4th down.
Absolutely. Eyes in the right place right there from the linebacker position. Saw Banbury trying to sneak through the middle of the field to get the screen pass. Kept his eyes where they're supposed to be. Made a nice wrap-up tackle to force this 4th and long. And now Mount Lebo will hopefully get better field position on their second possession of the game.
Getting whistles here as the punt unit trotted on. Cam Smith.
Top.
Just an officials conference there. No flag or.
So it's their first game back,
right?
too. They say, hey, I haven't seen you all summer, man.
Yeah,
what have you been up to, man? You want to throw a flag on this player or not? All right, just check.
4th down at 16. Cam Smith, the junior punter, gets a boot into it from the 16-yard line. A return for Zaber. Zaber down the sideline. There he goes. One to beat, and he'll beat him. Stretches for the pylon. Down at the 1. 83. Jacob Zaber sets up Lebo with the 1st and goal. Another look.
Beautiful, beautiful vision right here by Jacob. Finding his wall to the sideline. The guys up front blocking for him. Beautiful pickup right there by young Sebastian, number 4, getting him a block. And then from there, you see the speed. I love it. Man, excellent job by Nick Ellis from Upper St. Clair to chase him down. But that is what you're looking for. If you're Coach Frank and you're trying to get a spark for this Blue Devils offense, that's what you're looking for right there.
We talked about at the first play of the game, Arthur, we're talking about how athletic Jacob is, and you got to see that on display. But they are going to bring this back. So a blindside block. There were 2 penalties on Mount Lebanon. And this is going to march them back. The Lebo sideline had come to life, including the packed student section on that far boundary you see there.
And that's the unfortunate part. I mean, obviously, if you're Upper St. Clair, you're saying, of course, there was something wrong that happened. That's why that play broke like that.
Right.
But for Mount Lebo, I mean, it's one of those things where you just feel like, how can I overcome this early on in the game?
They mark the penalty all the way back to the 11-yard line. This is almost a full football field. They talk about field flipping plays, Arthur. This is literally a field flipping play. You're talking out of bounds. They marked him out at the 1.
Wow. I mean, but this is what Coach Frank was talking about, right? The little things.
Yes.
If you're going to be highly penalized, this is what can happen. And now you can just see the difference of starting 1st and goal from the 1 versus on your own 12-yard line.
An 88-yard swing. And they hand it off right back to Zaber, who's short of breath after that long return. He picks up 2 yards into the teeth of that Upper St. Clair defense that was so stingy a season ago. Even when teams were able to come out on top, they had to earn everything, and obviously a lot. And it really does start for USC up front, both offensively and defensively.
Absolutely, man. Their trenches, they have great size, and with that, that allows their linebackers to be physical, downhill, and flying, and that's why they are such a tough defense to run against and to just have success against, and that's what you've seen over the past few years with this group.
Another carry for Zaber, spinning for another yard. So it will be 3rd down and 7 here for Lebo.
And those Upper St. Clair defenders, man, are definitely bringing that wood early on. We obviously know with Jacob Zaber a little bit on the smaller side, right? 5'9", 165 pounds. But when you watch the speed that he plays with, that's going to be the challenge. Can he sustain and can he ultimately continue this this type of running tonight versus this physical Upper St. Clair defense?
3rd down and 7. 5 minutes to go here in our opening quarter of high school football in 2026. Welcome back to football. Steelers High School Showcase presented by Giant Eagle.
Timeout.
Timeout.
Mount Lebanon. This is their first charge timeout of the half.
So Lebo burns a timeout. And we'll burn one with them. 4:45 to play in the first. No score, Upper St. Clair, Mount Lebanon here on KDKA+.
Big features, bold style, and even bigger savings at Mike Kelly Kia. Lease an all-new 2026 Kia Seltos for $149 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing. Visit us at Mike Kelly Kia, Route 8 Butler. Big features, bold style, and even bigger savings at Mike Kelly Kia. Lease an all-new 2026 Kia Seltos for $149 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing. Visit us at Mike Kelly Kia, Route 8 Butler.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, life-changing medicine.
Pittsburgh. Its long and proud heritage is beautifully preserved in the awe-inspiring buildings that surround it. In the places where we live, where we worship, where we work, and where we play. One company has been awarded the challenge of restoring all that great heritage for nearly 60 years. Mariani and Richards, restoring the heritage, preserving the pride.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, JBU Life, Giant Eagle, grocery shopping made easy. Back to USC. Mount Lebanon faced with a 3rd down and 7 here, 4:55 to play in the first. And Whitehead gets the snap, one hands it, rolls here to the near side, sets his feet, floater on the way, receiver trying to come back to the football, and a flag comes out as it goes incomplete. Sebastian Coralion, the intended receiver for Lebo, and I think this was one of those cases, Arthur, where the defensive back didn't turn his head around to the football.
Yeah, that's literally it. You underthrow it a little bit, but if the DB doesn't get his head around, the receiver's smart job playing back into the ball. But this is one of the areas that Coach Fromm thought he would have an advantage. That veteran experience that he has at the wide receiver group, and you saw it right there showing up in a major way. We don't care how you get the explosive play. Just get it.
This is the senior battling back. Guarded against Andrew Gaither, the junior. Earns the flag and a fresh set of downs from the 29-yard line. Still no score. Snyder from the pistol. Nothing available, so they break it to the outside. Flags come flying in as Liam DeLuca gets his first carry of the evening, and one flag one way deserves a flag the other way.
Yeah, they're going to get him for a hold here, but
Holding,
honestly, man, it looks like the guy just fell down.
10-yard
But
penalty.
early on in the
First
year,
down.
you know how that goes. So, once again, for Mount Lebo, though, found themselves marching in the wrong direction. If you're Coach Frank, you have to be pulling your hair out early on with the amount of self-inflicted issues they've had just to start this game.
Yeah, Coach Frank, a Beaver grad, played in the old MAC conference. I was back when it was Aliquippa and Beaver, and some great teams in that conference. 2017,
You were probably covering the games back then, too. I mean, I know you've been doing this forever. 20-plus years in this thing. Come on now.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, probably. Didn't have the same voice, though. First down at 20. Ball sits at the 19. More about Coach Frank. Maybe now, as he has burned another timeout, he's like, wait, the announcers are going to talk about me.
Tell more.
So,
Do tell.
please, do tell.
Mount Lebanon.
He ended up showing up to the Mount Lebanon School District in 2017, and then in 18 he was the defensive backs and wide receivers coach, and then was retained by Coach Palco when he was hired, and was an assistant coach for that 2021 WPIL and state championship team, and then coached one more season after that. And then left to become the defensive coordinator for Joe Rossi over at South Fayette. Was the D coordinator there, and now kind of all in the family. Joe Rossi's son, Charlie Rossi, was a well-accomplished wide receiver, graduated from Princeton, now an assistant coach at Mount Lebanon.
That is a Whip Hill football story, is it not? I mean, I feel like every year we talk about the relationships, the dynamics of he coached with this guy. Man, this guy's related to that guy. But as a whole, that's the beauty of this, and that's why when you look at what Coach Frank is able to hopefully do this year, for me, the full circle of it, being that he was here when it was dominant, when it was the team to beat.
Yes.
And now to come back, if he's able to get them back to that type of prestige, that type of recognition, man, I know that's going to feel so good for him inside.
He knows what it takes to win. Susie Cool has more.
Matt, Coach Frank not messing around this year, completely overhauling his staff to ensure a
I think Susie went out of cell reception. We'll get her back and tell us more there as pressure comes. And a sack, and give him another as Will Stoll comes in to lay the lick on Brody Whitehead.
Yeah, Will definitely looked good right there in the trenches. First off, the fact he has that 55 on always warms my heart, but watch the big man moving inside. They try to screenplay him, and ultimately when you put a running back on Will is going to make it easy work, and that's what he did right there. Gets the sack, big-time play to force 2nd and 28.
Both teams have played behind the sticks in this first quarter, to say the least. We've seen 2 punts to this point. We're already 3 minutes and 30 seconds away from the end of the quarter, as Whitehead going to let it fly. If he could get away, and he can't, he's sacked again, and Will Stoll, the sophomore.
Let's go, Will. If you want to get me excited, man, show me some pass rush. And when I'm seeing interior guys in the trenches making plays like this is impressive.
And I'll correct myself, a junior on this squad for 55 in black and white. And his game has been black and white tonight. He has been all over the football field defensively, causing havoc and back-to-back sacks in this drive. It is 3rd down and 34. Lebo has the ball at their own 5. They need the 39 for a first down.
They should hand this ball off. That's what that sounds like right here, especially with the young quarterback. But we will see what happens. Looks like
delay of game.
It's a delay of game.
That's probably half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
Self-inflicted issues right there, man. So for Mount Lebo, what do you want to do right here? Minimize the damage.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 36. They do hand it off to Zaber, and Zaber does get some breathing room out to the 9, where he's knocked down by Evan Smirnu.
And honestly, that play is a win for both teams. If you're Mount Lebo, you have some room down to get this punt off without feeling all the way anxious for the fear of it being a block. And then if you're Upper St. Clair, man, you were able to ultimately force the 4th down. You didn't do anything to add to Mount Lebo, and you're going to get this football in plus territory for your offense. So, like I said, for Upper St. Clair, you're definitely excited about what's about to happen for them.
Punt unit is out. Second punt of the day. This is Maxton Siegel, and a nice catch for Andrew Gaither in some traffic there. He made the risky play to try to catch it and not call for the fair catch. And a quick tackle as Vince Petrogallo makes the stop on special teams. And it will be a 1st down and 10 for Upper St. Clair in Lebo territory.
I want to see how much Coach Junko trusts this young quarterback getting his first opportunity tonight.
Well, we'll find out when we come back. No score between USC and Lebo in the 2026 Lid Lifter. It's the Steelers High School Showcase presented by Giant Eagle.
You might not see the people's pipelines that deliver you safe, reliable natural gas every day because they are out of sight, hiding beneath your feet. But what's out of your sight is not out of our minds. We move through busy city streets to upgrade the infrastructure that served our region for decades, using state-of-the-art materials that reduce emissions to power homes and businesses with essential energy for generations to come. That's people's commitment to making your life better.
The one phone call that I made to Edgar Snyder changed my life forever.
I told Kristen, let us take care of the legal side of things. Your job is to get your treatment and get better. This is what we do day in and day out.
I'm there to listen to them. That's what I'm here for. Even if you just need to vent, you can always call me.
That just made me feel like I was understood and heard.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
First quarter action of Upper St. Clair and Mount Lebanon. And the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week presented by Giant Eagle alongside Arthur Moats, Matt Fargo with you, Susie Cool down on the sidelines. Second series for USC of the season, and they start in great territory at the Lebo 38-yard line. They go to Banbury on the first carry, and this Lebo defense trying to be stingy here as DeLuca slides in to make a stop there on first down. It will be second down and 9 after just a pickup of 1.
This is the fun part of the game from my perspective. We're going to find out how much Coach Junko trusts young Josh Snyder, because right now Mount Lebo is challenging him. They're testing him to see, will he put this ball in the air, and here comes some pressure as well.
Off the edge, she steps up, will let it fly down the near sideline. Little push off, he caught it, end zone, touchdown USC! Evan Smirnu, 37 yards for the first score of 2026 for the Panthers.
Ask and you shall receive. We were trying to figure out how much did Coach Junko trust the young quarterback Josh Snyder. Well, we don't care about that blitz. Watch him step around, keep his eyes downfield, and put the ball up top for the big man, Evan Smirner, to ultimately go down and make the catch. Big 6'5" guy getting into the end zone. You love to see it. First touchdown of the season for the Upper St. Clair Panthers.
Just enough contact. Defender fall down, and Smirnu makes the catch for the USC touchdown. Cam Smith to put on the PAT. and it is good. Junior kicker puts it through, 1:11 to play here in the first, and Upper St. Clair has a 7-0 lead over Mount Lebanon. And they did it quickly, 37 yards, and Lebo Gamble sent pressure on the edge, and you called it, Arthur. Where are they going to give the green light to Josh Snyder and to let it go? And sometimes you need to find out if your quarterback can sink or swim. And Josh Snyder is swimming all over this place so far.
Absolutely. I know he's breathing a sigh of fresh air because when you're replacing Ethan Hellman, this is the USC all-time leading passer, 4-year starter.
Yeah.
This is the only guy that they've seen out here the past 4 years. So to come in and have to replace those shoes, that's not easy to do.
He's the Tom Brady of USC.
Basically. But you see right there, man, the young guy getting his opportunity and still just trusting his mechanics, trusting what he did all summer long, and right there, trusting protection, delivering a pass, and letting his receiver do the rest. Beautiful job right there, and nice way to start for that Upper St. Clair offense.
Cam Smith will kick it back to Lebo. And if Mount Lebanon can keep themselves in front of the sticks, they had some opportunities offensively. See Jacob Zaber there. Smith puts a boot into it. And it goes out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Lebo back to work offensively.
And I honestly like that decision right there for Lebo. If you think about their first couple of drives, field position has been a nightmare, but it's been because of self-inflicted issues. So minimize that and let's just see if you're actually good enough without doing the bad stuff to yourself. Because for Upper St. Clair, you saw the first opportunity they had to get positive field position, they were able to take advantage of that and get a touchdown. When they were backed up, when they had self-inflicted issues, they punted. So for Mount Lebo, can you follow suit? Can you not make the self-inflicted issue right here?
So Brody Whitehead, the quarterback for Lebo, will hand it off on first down. Stretch play to the corner. Liam DeLuca chased down. Evan Smirnu providing the lateral coverage there.
Yeah, and this Upper St. Clair defense has good speed. I talk about the physicality in the trenches, right? Banbury and company. But those guys on the perimeter can run really well. And you saw that right there when you're trying to attack this group to the sideline. They have guys that fly to the football.
Another handoff for Liam DeLuca. Back to the line of scrimmage, no further.
Yeah, they ran into a brick wall up front in those trenches. Talk about big Ryan Robbins right there. The Penn State commit was not having any movement and ultimately created that log jam. And now here we are once again, 3rd and long for the Mount Lebo offense.
And that will be when we come back for the second frame, as the first 12 minutes of the 2026 season are in the books. This is the end of the first quarter. Upper St. Clair 7, Mount Lebanon nothing. The second quarter of the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week presented by Giant Eagle comes back, you guessed it, right after this.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
a fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life. For many years, UPMC has been at the forefront of technology and cutting-edge research.
Published more than any institution in the world with concussion, knee ACL injuries, to the shoulder, to the hip, to all the big joints. Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
Susie Cole's having fun on the sidelines with a very special guest, and we'll talk to them in a moment as it's 3rd down and 10.
I was ready to see your dance moves, man. Jeez.
No, I'm good. I'll leave that one to Susie.
But let's see if Mount Lebo could dance around these Upper St. Clair defenders, man. 3rd and 10, here we go.
3rd and 10 it is from the 20. Back to pass. Steps up and steps into trouble, and he gets pulled down again. Sacked on the play. This USC defense has been relentless.
They sent young John Banbury again. Middle linebacker blitzing. Ryan Robbins up front also providing some pressure. And big number 58, Anthony Bunn, getting in there, man. That's what you love to see, though, if you're this Panthers defense. Physical, pass rushing, and ultimately forcing Mount Lebo to punt.
Maxton Siegel to punt from his own end zone. 3rd time for Mount Lebanon to punt tonight. Punt fair caught at the 50-yard line. And let's go down to Susie Cool as a very special guest with her. Susie?
Whippio High School football games over the past year. What keeps you coming back?
You see high school football in like a student section, you can't beat it. Can't.
You told me last year that your high school at Marshall, and even when you were in Iowa, lined by cornfields. Well, you've been to Central Valley, McKeesport, now Upper St. Clair. Where do you rank the top field that you've been at so far in the Whippeal?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen a cornfield going to any of those places, but it's got to be right here in Upper St. Clair.
If you had to give one piece of advice to a high school football player now that you have 1 year under your belt in the NFL, what would it be?
Just keep pursuing your dreams. You never know where it's going to lead you.
YA, this is the most serious question I'm going to ask you tonight. Last year I asked you if you had to lace it up against these kids tonight, would you still be able to keep up with them? You told me that was crazy. Is your answer still that's a crazy question, or do you think you could still lace it up with them?
Oh, that was crazy was like I could still go. So, like, put me at running back, I'm taking for at least 500 yards.
Matt, Arthur, YA is ready to go out there. You think you can do it? Let's see.
Susie, YA, thank you.
500.
500. We had an 11-yard run on that last carry, and now a keeper for Josh Snyder with a late flag that flies. YA has so much fun coming to these high school games. He's come to 3 in the last 2 seasons, so you know he's having a good time. And I do know his favorite part is the student section. And his second favorite part's obviously the interview with Susie.
Oh, easily, man. Anytime you see the big man and that big smile, just watch him when he's in the student section, it shows that much more, man. So, like I said, man, for those kids, too, it's such a memorable experience, man, having big YA. First off, visually, he passes the eyeball test.
Yeah.
But then when you see the personality, you see the fun, lighthearted nature that he also possesses, man, that's what makes him such an awesome person to be around.
He was out of a blast during the Penguins playoff run when all the guys came out to the game to support the Pengs. You know how that Pittsburgh thing.
Oh, absolutely. You play one, you play the city. You know that.
Absolutely. 2nd down, 25. Screen pass set up to the far side, completed to Sam Bunn, but Lebo reads it pretty beautifully. Going to get back to the 50-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down, and really the story, with the exception of the 37-yard touchdown pass, both teams have spent the majority of this game behind the sticks.
And that's not what either team wants when you're breaking in young, new quarterbacks. Josh Snyder, we said this is his first start following the Ethan Hellman era, and 3 of his 4 possessions now have started out with third and extreme longs. So if you're Coach Junko, you don't love that, but it's cool to see him be able to overcome it at times.
Well, they're going to let Snyder throw this one over the middle and incomplete. Had a receiver and had split the zone. Again, it was Bunn, but could not make the connection. Another look at the UPMC Sports Medicine instant replay.
Yeah, really good protection. I like the ball that he delivered as well. Unfortunately, not able to pull it in. But in terms of the young quarterback, showing that you can trust him if you're Coach Junko. You want to see how he handles situational football. Big moments. Is he going to panic and put the ball in harm's way? Or is he going to be able to sit back, be calm, and trust his fundamentals? And that's what you're seeing, even though the connection didn't ultimately give you the result that it wanted at the end.
Punts away, fielded from the 9, as Saber tries to push his way towards the 20-yard line, shy of it at the 18. And I still love there's every bit of the rivalry, the chippiness, the talking after each play.
I was literally going to say after every single play, special teams, it doesn't matter. You're seeing the chirping. And for me as a football guy, man, you love that, you appreciate that, but I do like the fact that they're respecting the rules. They're not taking it too far where we're going to ultimately get too many penalties coming from this. So hopefully we can keep it like that for the rest of this game as well.
7-0. St. Clair punts it back to Mount Lebanon. Every bit it's still in this football game, but they've punted the football their first 3 drives of this game. So what do they have in store here on the 4th? It's Whitehead, screen pass, and it's caught at the 20-yard line, and zigging and zagging his way across the 25 to the 27 is again Jacob Zaber. And boy, you talk about being the bread and the butter here.
You see it right there, but man, dangerously close to that pass being intercepted. So definitely want to see if they come back to that and how that plays out. But ultimately for Jacob Zaber right there, continues to be the guy that gets this offense going and gets this team going. So we'll see if he can continue that right here as well on 2nd and short.
2nd down and 1 from the 27. Another call for Zaber. Hit the hole beautifully, picks up Alibo, 1st down. Steady dose, some number 3 in white.
Listen, he's not the biggest guy out there, but you talk about his vision and his footwork. Watch how quickly he bursts through this hole and makes a defender miss right here. Love the blocking up front by the big guys. And then from there, man, get up on these defenders and let them know that, yes, I'm small, but I'm not shying away from contact. Excellent run right there by Jacob.
His father is the chief revenue officer of the Washington Nationals.
Nice.
Commutes between here in Pittsburgh and D.C. Right side run. Zaber gets a breather, and they give it off to Liam DeLuca.
Problem is, number 55 is having himself a night tonight, man. Will Stoll in the trenches once again, making a play. Great hand usage also. That's what frees him up. And then from there, you see him be able to go ahead and make the tackle right there for a no-yard gain. Definitely liking what I'm seeing from him tonight for this Panthers defense.
2nd down and 10 from the 37-yard line. It's Brody Whitehead. Sophomore quarterback throwing wide, incomplete. Sawyer Shistak is the intended receiver there.
And because of the field position situation for Mount Lebo, we haven't really been able to see Brody get comfortable or have 3rd and manageable. Everything has been 10-plus, 20-plus yards, and it's really a lot of pressure to put on a young quarterback making one of their first starts at the varsity level.
And USC has brought pressure on 3rd and long. They'll go back to the screenplay, and it goes in and out of the hands, incomplete. Intended for Liam DeLuca. I beg your pardon, Kevin King, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down, punt unit coming back out for Mount Lebanon.
And it all goes back to what Coach Frank talked about, man, doing the little things right, not having the self-inflicted errors, and you continue to see that be the theme for Mount Lebo, unfortunately. drop pass. 3rd down, that's critical play right there. When you have a drop pass on a possession down, it kills the drive, as we're seeing. And now you're going to be punting, and Upper St. Clair might have good field position depending on this return, and that's not what you're looking for if you're Mount Lebo.
Punt away by Siegel, and it rolls out of bounds at the USC 40. So pretty good field position for the Panthers, a 22-yard punt. And we've talked a lot about what Bruce Franck and the little things, but on the other side, Mike Junko, seems like the defense has certainly figured itself out, but on the other side, not nearly as much offensively. And, you know, Mike Junko literally was saying that he really felt like some of these guys he's excited about, but at the same time, scrimmages at 10 a.m. and under the Friday night lights, different story. And we'll have more on that when we come back. 7:15 to play here in the second.
This is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. It's time for the Subaru A Lot to Love event. 0% financing for up to 72 months on new 2026 Subaru Ascents, Crosstreks, Foresters, and Outbacks. Bud Bear Subaru, Route 19 South Washington. Come see us. Visit us online at budbearsubaru.com or call 724-222-0700.
The honest dealer, believably different. Bud Bear.
You worked hard to get through high school. Now build a future of your own. With the Laborers Union, start earning right away. No student loan debt, just hands-on experience and state-of-the-art training at no cost. Strong wages, real benefits. From day one, you're earning, learning, and moving toward your own truck, your own home, real independence. Build a career you're proud of. Become a member at laborparecruit.com.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Herc Rentals, Kelly Automotive, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, welcome back to Pittsburgh South Hills. USC, Luca Corey gets the carry to the 46. On first down as USC with a 7-0 lead, trying to add to it here with 7 minutes to go. Man, you see Mr. Robbins, and I think all of his teammates should refer to him as that. That's how big he looks in comparison.
A mountain of a man, and it's no surprise that anytime they want to put the ball on the ground, they try to find that left side of the line behind Big Ryan and Will Stoll.
Deep pass. And it is intercepted. Flag is down as Zaber made the INT. And I'm curious on what this flag is going to be. Is it going to be
like OPI?
The initial signal was that. Another look.
Good protection. Ball up.
I don't think there's interference on anybody on that play.
I would agree.
Yeah, I feel your pain, Jacob.
I mean, for his perspective, that'd be his second big play for Lebo tonight to get called back,
Number
man, on a
3,
penalty.
15-yard penalty results in a first down.
It just, Arthur, throughout this first half, it just feels like the few breaks that Upper St. Clair has gotten, they've gotten them, and Lebo hasn't really had any.
Absolutely. We talk about one where it would have resulted in a potential score in terms of that long punt return, and then we're talking right here where not just a turnover, a momentum shift. But now instead, Upper St. Clair gets it in plus territory with 6 minutes left in the first half.
Great aerial shot there as whistles and a flag. Play clock had reset to 40. Is this going to be delay game on USC? Sideline warning. There's Steely with the Upper St. Clair Panthers in the Hawaiian theme.
Now it is a party, baby. Let's go, Steely McBean. That's my best friend. You don't know this, but we travel a lot, man. We have a lot of fun together, okay? Me and Steely, that's my guy.
Right up the middle for Luca Corey. And Corey churns and burns his way to the 32. Tripped up by Huff.
And we're seeing some of the Thunder and Lightning dynamic with John Banbury being more the physical runner and then Luca Corey bringing more of that speed element that we've seen the past 2 runs on this drive.
Snyder on second down and short. Design run play. Lowers his shoulder. Going to be still a yard short of the first down. Ford Schmidt on the tackle. And Snyder has good family lines. He is the nephew of a former Post-Gazette Fab 22 selection in Colin Hawkins, who was a standout at USC and then started at Virginia Tech in the national championship game back in 1999. Michael Vick was the quarterback of that team.
That's one of those ones right there, man. Former teammate of mine over at the Steelers. Yes. Obviously, man, when you talk about anybody that was a part of that Virginia Tech team, like, oof, they were legit. Absolutely.
Yeah, Colin Hawkins, fullback for the Hokies back in 99. It's pretty good family lines. And another Upper St. Clair Panther with good family lineage is Ryan Robbins. His mother, Kim, who was Kim's server, played at Mount Lebanon, played hoops, and then she was a Hokie back in the day. As now Snyder surveys, going to take off and run with it and be 2 yards shy of the 20, 4 shy of the line to gain. Getting him out into space, getting him more comfortable, showing his dual threat ability.
And that's what he's capable of. He has the legs, and he's able to be elusive. You saw him make the first guy miss. Unfortunately for him, man, he ran into number 11, Parker Boyd, who wasn't going for any more of that. But as a whole, you can see the challenge that it is to defend against Josh Snyder.
I'd be remiss to finish the thought on Ryan Robbins. Dad also played at Pitt.
Thank you. I was going to say.
Complete the thought there. Didn't want to leave Dad out.
So it's not just a basketball family, okay?
Corey, first down yardage and more. And then, I beg your pardon, Snyder keeps. As Corey, the tailback on that one, an 8-yard run. And people were occupied with Corey, and Snyder was able to take it off the right side, pick up the first down.
Yeah, and you're seeing a little bit of an adjustment on this drive. Instead of it being more of the throwing, now they're going to more of that quick rushing attack, man. We see Luca Corey out there, the speed that he possesses, but also being able to use Snyder and use his athleticism on the perimeter and on those QB keepers, like what you're seeing right there, is making Mount Lebo a little bit uncomfortable in this possession.
As Mount Lebanon burns a timeout, Susie Cole has more on the Upper St. Clair quarterback. And we'll talk to her when we come back, as we're going to burn a timeout. We'll be back. 7-0, Upper St. Clair leads Mount Lebanon. Steelers Showcase here on KDKA+.
Follow
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, El Campesino, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
Miller's Mini Storage has the extra room you need. For more than 3 decades, our storage facility in Elizabeth, PA has offered secure, affordable, and accessible storage solutions. Miller's Mini Storage has you covered. Simply bring a lock and key and keep your items safe at our location. New insulated units are available with dawn to dusk access. Storing with us is easy and convenient. Visit millersministorage.com today and reserve your space. Miller's Mini Storage, your space, your way.
75% of all domestic violence homicides happen after an arrest. Take control and protect yourself with our jail release notification app. Hope and healing starts here. Save a life. Donate now.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Shell, Panera Bread, Loewe Enterprises, promotional products and apparel. Steelers High School Showcase, Week 1 of the WPIAL. 7-0 Upper St. Clair leads Mount Lebanon. 3:40 to go here in the second. Coming up, Shell halftime show. Susie Cole, Damon McDermott back at the desk. Happy New Year to both of them.
It just feels right. The band is back together.
Yes.
Come on now, man. This is what you've been looking for. This is what we've been waiting on all summer long.
Upper St. Clair in the Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union red zone.
And they went back to the power back, John Banbury now.
Screen pass, far side, completed. Smirnu, or beg your pardon, Anthony Rozo.
And I like them testing them on the edge, but with them putting Banbury back in, don't be surprised to see them get a nice inside run or something to that left side following Ryan Robbins and Will Stoll, the big bodies up there up front.
Whitehead on 2nd and 5. Here's Snyder trying to navigate his way to the 5-yard line. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. Calling his own number at the quarterback position. And they're starting to find some open spots with this, with Snyder running from the, just calling his own number with the options.
Yeah, and they're allowing the running backs to essentially be a pseudo lead blocker. A lot of those guys went and tackled John Banbury, and he was able to follow right off of that and get some positive yards.
Handoff to Banbury. He pushes forward down to the 1. And it will be first down and goal here for Upper St. Clair, and they go to the bigger package. Some bigger guys coming in. Another look here at the UPMC Sports Minutes and Instant Replay.
We saw them do this play 3 times consecutively, but this time they actually give it to Banbury. He picks up the positive yards. Now they have him right knocking on the edge of a touchdown. If I'm Upper St. Clair, don't overthink this. Give the ball to Banbury once again.
Banbury is the tailback. They give it to him, and he's into the end zone for the Upper St. Clair Panther touchdown. John Banbury, the senior, punches it in. First touchdown of the season for Banbury, and the Panthers extend the lead here late in the first half.
And you called it. They brought in the bigger bodies. Big 34 at fullback, Nevin Sheegan. Went up on that left side of the offensive line with Ryan Robbins, Will Stoll. And from there, you see Banbury keeping the legs churning, gets into the end zone, celebrates with his teammates, and now they extend that lead to be a 2-score game over Mount Lebo.
Extra point by Smith is no good. So with 1:46 to play in the second, 13-0, as It was a score that was capped off by Banbury, but really the architect of the drive was Josh Snyder and his legs, and Susie Cole has more on Josh.
Thanks, Matt. Now, Schneider is no stranger to the Friday Night Lights, serving as a receiver and defensive back last year. However, this is a new position for him, and there's always a learning curve. Head coach Mike Junko for the Panthers, confident in Schneider's ability, though, praising his maturity, saying he has a big arm, elite athleticism, and saying the way Schneider has seen the game from multiple positions has already slowed things down for the junior at QB. Matt?
Thanks, Susie. Excited to see what he will do this season. And, you know, I was mentioning going into that break about what Mike Junko said about there's a big difference between 10 a.m. scrimmage and Friday Night Lights. And USC has young guys, too, and they're learning along. And, you know, this game, formerly known as Week 0, now known as Week 1. Now we're going to count 1 to 10 this season in the WPIL, but It does. It's a learning process for the young guys filling holes.
Yes, it is. And I think the difference as we're watching this game, Mount Lebo and their younger players have been more shooting themselves in the foot, right? Self-inflicted, and that's been their issue. Whereas for Upper St. Clair, they've just been a better job of staying ahead of it, staying in front of the sticks, and that's why they've been able to score twice now, 13-0. But we will see how the rest of this game progresses. If Mount Lebo can minimize some of the negative, I think it could be a lot closer. I think they could actually find themselves back in this game, potentially even tying it up. But they got to figure out how to get out their own way first off.
Touchback, and looks like Zaber is cramping up. Of course, one of the storylines coming into tonight for Mount Lebanon is Alex Texa and Eli Heidenreich. Heidenreich, of course, drafted in the 7th round by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Alex Texa just 3 days ago was signed, but earlier the Mount Lebanon football team went up to Latrobe and got to catch up with their brother in football and Eli Heidenreich. And how cool was it for him to plunge into the end zone, get a touchdown last night in the preseason game? But a pretty cool experience, I think, for the kids, but also for Eli.
Oh, how absolutely. I mean, for Eli, this is a guy that not only was a part of Mount Lebo, but you think about the championship. We talk about Bruce Frank and that team. Eli was a part of that. So for him, man, this is a great opportunity to come back and reinstill that hope for these younger guys to know that, man, I can be this just like him, man. I can go through these same hallways, this same practice field, and ultimately have the same level of success collegially and, as you're seeing now, professionally.
Yeah, and I talked to Bruce Frank about it earlier this week, and it was a cool experience for him. Of course, he was an assistant coach on that state championship team with Eli and Alex, and pretty cool to see that not only can you make it, but you can make it to your hometown team. It's a dream to get to the National Football League, but to put on the Steelers black and gold has to be a different kind of feeling, and you know that an entire community is looking up to you saying, I want to be just like you.
Oh, absolutely. As we're dealing with the cramping situation right now, when you think about what that signifies, though, man, not one player. You had two guys, two teammates, two guys that shared this locker room that ultimately have been able to ascend from the high school ranks to the collegiate ranks and both getting a chance to put on NFL jerseys. That is awesome. But if you're Mount Lebo, that's what you continue to push. That's what you continue to reinstill in your organization. And that's how you continue to get those guys more motivated to continue to be the next one. So we will see, man, who will be that next person. But for right now, hopefully we can get these guys more hydrated.
Yeah, we're going to step aside as they tend to them here with 1:38 to play in the first half.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, El Campesino, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
1:38 to play here in the first half. Upper St. Clair 13, Mount Lebanon nothing. Week 1 of our Steelers High School Showcase Games of the Week. If you're curious what our schedule is, maybe you haven't seen it yet, well, Susie and Damon will have the full schedule and lineup for you coming up in the Shell halftime show. So stick around for that. Second down and 15 from the 15. Got everybody stretched out and onto the sideline with 2 players for Lebo were cramping. That time of the year for that.
Yeah, the unfortunate part was one of the players was Jacob Zaber, who has been their most productive player on offense, defense, and special teams. But during this time of year, man, Coach Tomlin would always say physical conditioning precedes everything. And this is what you're seeing a little bit tonight. The guys that are able to stay out there longer can help their teams out. The guys that can't is going to see the stress that it could put on their respective position groups.
Yeah, another timeout taken here. 1:32 to play. Mike Junko mentioned in his 8th season, took over for the legend Jim Render, who obviously one of the all-time greats of the WPIAL. And Mike, a Upper St. Clair graduate, was a part of the 1989 state championship team. He was the backup quarterback and punter on that team. And he was a multi-sport athlete, too. He was on the WPL football and baseball championship teams at Upper St. Clair, and then went on to play at Akron. Of course, his father, longtime Pitt football assistant Bob Junko, 78 years old. Bob still with us in attendance tonight, as this one goes all the way back into the end zone and is going to be a safety. So add 2 to the Panther ledger on a bad snap on 3rd down.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that for Coach Frank has to just continue to make his blood boil right there. You continue to do things to yourself, and that's what happened right here. The snap goes over the quarterback's head. QB does a great job at least of minimizing the damage. You'd rather give up 2 points than give up 6 points. If you don't recover that, and Upper St. Clair does, then obviously that's a touchdown. So for them, you minimize the damage as best as possible. But once again, now it's 15-0, and Upper St. Clair's about to get the ball right back.
Yeah, with 1:27, it will be interesting to see what Coach Junko wants to do offensively. He is also the offensive coordinator of the Panthers squad.
And I would anticipate him being a little bit aggressive. The way that Josh has shown these past couple of drives, both with his legs and with his arms, I don't see why you can't trust him in a situation right here, up 2 scores, a minute and 20 left in the game, or a minute 20 left in the half. You're going to get good field position, close to midfield. I don't see why they won't take a shot early on.
So free kick coming. Josh Huff will do the honors from the 37. Holtenschlag on the return for USC, and pretty good field position again, Mike, or Arthur. I tell you, I think we have an opportunity here with the short field position.
Plus territory right here. If I'm Coach Junko, we're calling a shot play. I'm going to allow Josh Snyder to take a shot at the end zone or throw this football right now, man, because if you're Mount Lebo, momentum-wise, you're down. And you're questioning right now, man, do I even have enough to get out this half without allowing another score? Because we know what another score could do for the Upper St. Clair confidence, but more importantly, what it would do for Mount Lebo in terms of their belief tonight as well.
Yeah, this is imperative stop for the Lebo defense. Snyder sets up the screen pass to Banbury, and Banbury breaks free. 25 down the far boundary, pulled down to the 10. And USC, just that fast, will be knocking on the door. 37 yards on the screen pass to Banbury and in to the Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union red zone.
And that is a nice changeup right there by Coach Junko. Mount Lebo guessed pass, so they tried to drop extra guys into coverage, but unfortunately they didn't anticipate screen. And then from there, you see the run after by John Banbury, picking up a nice gain, setting up the Panthers in scoring position now.
Spinning down to the 5. Banbury, and maybe rightfully so, Ryan Robbins got a lot of the attention in the offseason coming into preseason expectations and the recruiting trail, but John has got a bunch of offers. Richmond, Akron, Cornell, Lehigh is a 4.2 GPA.
I love that right there. Not just a football player, also has the academics.
What a catch! Holdenschlag gets it, and there is a flag down. And the officials are waving everybody back. What a throw, though, by Snyder to Holdenschlag.
And heck of a catch also. Be interesting to see what the penalty is. But go up top and get it, young man. Nice hands catch right there.
So flag marks off a touchdown. .29 seconds to go. And you said it, you were kind of alluding to it, Arthur, about this score being a backbreaker.
Mm-hmm. And even with 29 seconds left, that's plenty of time from the 11-yard line.
Keeper for Snyder. Snyder bouncing off and gets carried into the end zone. Do it yourself, Josh Snyder. Touchdown, Panthers. They extend the lead here late in the first half.
And that was a statement run right there by Josh Snyder. You look at the end of that play, the finish. He's not running away or shying away from contact. He's running behind his pads. QB keeper, no RPO action right here. Lowers the shoulder into the defender and carries him all the way into the end zone. You see the young guy flexing, feeling good. Team all the way supporting him. This is what you want to see if you're Upper St. Clair tonight as we start officially the Josh Snyder era.
.23 seconds to go here in the first half. USC leads at 21-0. And the Panthers call a timeout. Just seems like this half does not want to end.
Looked like we had some early season personnel communication issues. It happens across the board, but at the end of the day, it's all about what you're going to do. How do you respond to it? So for the coaching staff, burn those timeouts. You can't take them with you anyways.
Out of this timeout, we'll try to put a PAT in there. Steely's always got a camera. Oh, he's just,
he's really photogenic.
He is.
He's been hitting the gym. You see the muscles.
I think like Damon McDermott.
You see it, right? Come on now. Did he have a haircut too? Like he went to the barber today, man. He knew he was going to be on camera tonight.
No, he did.
He did. Tell you, it's my best friend. He doesn't know he's my best friend, but he's my best friend.
Yep.
Tell him all the time.
Damon's my best friend.
See does he know he's your best friend, or does he not know?
I don't think he knows.
It's like that sometimes.
Yeah, it is. All right, after the timeout, they get everything situated here for this PAT. Cam Smith. Blocked. Did not get it over the lines. 21-0. It will stay with 23 seconds to go in this first half.
And if you're Coach Frank right now, you're just trying to get to halftime, get a reset. Talk to my team, talk to my young quarterback. Calm everybody down. You're seeing some positive plays here. We can see the passion that this Mount Lebo team has after every play they're chirping. But at the same time, you have to be able to execute. And you can't allow the passion for the rivalry and wanting to one-up this opposition to cloud your judgment when you're talking about not blocking in the back, not doing things that are taking points off the boards, and unfortunately taking turnovers off the board as well for this Devils team.
Yeah, you have to wonder how this game plays out if that punt that set up Lebo would have been a first down and goal. It was an 88-yard swing.
Changes
What would
everything.
happen?
Changes the whole feel of this game. We talked about the interception that came off the board. We know later on in that drive ends up being a touchdown. But it's those little things that happen in a game that you don't get to have a redo, and that's the difference of scrimmages and practice versus your first Friday night game.
Smith to kick it off. Picked up at the 15-yard line. Returned by DeLuca, or I beg your pardon, Kevin King. King, somebody that Coach Frank was high on, said he's had the injury bug and was a flag down on that on the return, so we'll check that.
Looks like we had a little bit of the they were exchanging summer pool party invitations, and unfortunately spent a little bit too much time talking about it. Draw some attention.
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul. Upper St. Clair, number 24. 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 10, Mount Lebanon.
It's a rivalry for a reason, but literally we were just talking about it. Every single play at the end of it, somebody is getting into it, having a little bit of extracurricular activity, and unfortunately right there, it just went a little bit too long. And the officials, I will say, did a good job of just keeping it under wraps. You don't want to allow something small to become bigger, all because you're not doing a good enough job of managing it and policing it. So good job by the officials right there.
Lebo gets it first down at 10 from the 42. Brody Whitehead. Another high snap, was able to handle it. Right into the rugby scrum for DeLuca. And Bruce Frank is really every bit a part of this rivalry. He's an Upper St. Clair resident, the head coach, and a teacher at Mount Lebanon. He is every bit involved in all of it, but that is the way this first half will come to a close as USC has a 21-0 advantage over their crosstown 4-mile rivals, the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils, and Susie Cole has Coach Junko down to the sideline.
Performance so far.
He's acting like a first night starter, right? Some good and some not so good. So, just the guys aren't helping him. Undisciplined. We don't do that kind of stuff around here, and so they're gonna find out at halftime. I'm not real happy about that.
You told me earlier this week that this game is always hard going against Mount Lebo with the ever-changing rotation of head coaches. You got to adjust on the fly. How has your team been doing that tonight?
I mean, we're seeing tonight's brand new, so we got to fix it. And you saw how disjointed it got. Now we'll go in there at halftime, and now we've got a good feel. So hopefully we play a lot better football in the second half.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks so much.
Matt.
Susie, thank you, and thanks to Coach Junko. If you're a player, Arthur, words you don't want to hear, they're going to find out how mad I'm about that at halftime.
It's always funny, too. 21-zip. Why are we so mad, Coach?
Well, I'll tell you, Susie Cole and Damon McDermott are not mad. They're happy to bring you the Shell Halftime Show in the back half of this break. You are watching the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle, right here on KDKA+. 21-0, Upper St. Clair over Mount Lebanon.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Loway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Loway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now, meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
Freedom Conway Recycling is a full-service scrap metal recycling company.
We buy both non-ferrous and ferrous material, recycle the goods to turn into new goods. It's to help the environment.
Working with Shell Livewire, I've been able to better identify customers that are serviceable. We work for the future of our economy, the future of the environment, the future of our family.
Relive your favorite moments at the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Honor Museum.
They really wore that back then, Grandpa?
Yeah, they really did.
Playing back then was tough, believe me.
Now this is the best era. Nobody could beat that dynasty.
I couldn't agree more. Those teams were unstoppable.
Now, I don't know about that, but the team was really good in the 90s.
Come on, you couldn't catch those teams of the 2000s. They went the distance, literally.
That's what I'm talking about! Yes!
The 70s are definitely the best.
Hey, the 2000s, hands down. Whoa, guys, stop fighting. I think every era was pretty sweet.
You said it, kid. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and I hope to see you back here soon.
Wait, your tea?
Seems like a nice spot.
Welcome into the Shell Halftime Show on KDKA+. If you're just tuning in, Upper St. Clair is up 21-0 at the half over Mount Lebanon. Alongside Damon McDermott, I'm Susie Cole. And Damon, I just caught up with head coach Mike Junko at the half. Not happy with his team's performance, but what do you think of tonight?
Well, their defense has been playing unbelievable. I think as a head coach, and the responsibility is always to make sure everybody stays within themselves, and you've seen some personal fouls. This is a rivalry. So, again, I think they're playing great. The defense has given up 9 passing yards and negative rushing yards, so there's a lot of good there, but a coach is always going to harp on the bad, especially in a Week 1 matchup. And Upper St. Clair has a lot of high expectations this year, so all year it's going to be like that.
Now let's harp on some good. The Jerome Bettis Leadership Award is back for this season, and we already have a Week 1 winner. This week's award goes out to senior receiver from Greensburg-Salem, Connor Wilson. Connor is a leader of the football program at Greensburg-Salem. He mentors the younger student athletes, supports teammates year-round, and leads by example through his commitment and character. Beyond football, the senior volunteers through church community initiatives, helps raise funds for pediatric cancer research, and constantly is giving back to those around him with a positive attitude. Congratulations once again to Connor Wilson, a senior receiver from Greensburg-Salem. For more information on our Jerome Bettis Leadership Award, you can go on over to Steelers.com/youth to check it out. Always so great to hear how these kids give back to the community, right, Damon?
I mean, it's unbelievable. I say all the time, 10 years ago, we weren't doing half of these things, and now they have a resume before they even go to college, so props to him, and we're going to highlight so many awesome high school athletes throughout the whole entire year. Throughout
the entire 2026 season, and you can take a look at where we are headed throughout the next couple of weeks as well. Next week, a big 4A matchup. McKeesport taking on Montour. That's going to be exciting to see. Come on, Smell in action. And then in week 3, Pine Richland, Central Catholic. Always a good matchup. And at Hazelwood Field, home of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, and if you look through this whole entire schedule, we have so much D1 talent this year. You go to South Fayette, you got Aiden Wright. You're going to have Week 10, even the last game of the year, you have Hopewell with James Boo Boo Armstrong, who's going to get to go to wherever he wants. He committed to Penn State. But you're going to see unbelievable talent throughout the year, and a lot of these games are going to be deciding standings in the conference, but they're also maybe previews to playoff matchups. So get ready. The whole entire year is going to be so much fun, and we're going to be on every single game ready and can't wait to do them all, Suze.
Week 7, I'm really excited for, going back to my alma mater as they take on Coach Chirp, Thomas Jefferson, but Bobby Palks is back. And if you don't see your school just yet on the schedule, well, there's always that chance for Week 8 action. It is the fan vote here, so keep your eyes peeled throughout the season. We'll be putting out that fan vote when we get a little bit closer to it. We'll be picking the hottest matchups of the year to see where we're going to be headed in Week 8. But for tonight, all sights are set right here in the South Hills. We have more on Mount Lebanon and Upper St. Clair coming up next. Keep it locked on KDKA+.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest. It's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, El Campesino, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
Shell Livewire is a supportive environment to help entrepreneurs grow their businesses.
It really helps our small towns thrive by providing this service.
Shell Livewire completely reshaped my world. It was able to open my eyes to different styles of management, different types of people, and how to manage them.
It's been just a great learning experience.
Livewire has been really critical to boosting our small businesses.
Just like that, we're back on the Shell halftime show at Upper St. Clair Stadium. The Panthers up 21-0 over the Mount Lebo Blue Devils at the half. And right now I have 2 very special guests. You can see right here a big check. Everybody back at home, and that's from GBU Life, a $500 donation going out to the home team every single week on the Steelers High School Showcase. So thank you for that. We have Michelle from GBU Life and the one and only Danny Holzer from Upper St. Clair, the school's athletic director. Michelle, I'm going to start with you. Why is it so important for GBU Life to give back to the communities in the way that they do?
GBU Life is not only a fraternal benefit society, but GBU, we not only provide financial security to its members through the insurance and annuities, but GBU Life also offers funding for higher education with GBU Foundation scholarships and grants. So GBU Life is very passionate about supporting education through a variety of programs and events to empower and facilitate students through student leadership with great mentors, excellent opportunities, and bright careers for the next generation.
Michelle, thank you so much. And Danny, no, you can't take this home with you. This is for your school, okay? So what does a contribution of this size do for your students in the school as a whole?
Yeah, we really appreciate it that GBU Life is donating this to us, and we'll make sure that it's put to good use for all of our student athletes to do whatever we can to help them be successful on and off the field.
Michelle and Danny, thank you so much for joining me here on the Shell Halftime Show tonight. Again, GBU Life giving $500 to the home team every single week throughout the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week in the fall. We'll be back next with first half highlights, stats, and so much more. Keep it locked right here on KDKA+.
Big features, bold style, and even bigger savings at Mike Kelly Kia. Lease an all-new 2026 Kia Seltos for $149 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing. Visit us at Mike Kelly Kia, Route 8 Butler. Big features, bold style, and even bigger savings at Mike Kelly Kia. Lease an all-new 2026 Kia Seltos for $149 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing. Visit us at Mike Kelly Kia, Route 8 Butler.
I've always had aspirations to serve my community. I enjoy working at Children's Hospital and being around an environment where I make the kids happy and make the kids smile. Not all hospitals have a dedicated police force, but UPMC does. From the command center, we've got eyes on every corner of the hospital, keeping patients and staff safe. I want families to know that when they come to UPMC, we're here for them.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
Freedom Conway Recycling is a full-service scrap metal recycling company.
We buy both non-ferrous and ferrous material, recycle the goods to turn into new goods. It's to help the environment.
Working with Shell Livewire, I've been able to better identify customers that are serviceable. We work for the future of our economy, the future of the environment, the future of our family.
We're just minutes away from this 5A, 6A matchup kicking off here at Upper St. Clair tonight. The Panthers up 21-0 at the half over the Blue Devils. And I think that we need to address the elephant in the room real quick before we get into everything, Damon. We're wearing leis because it is beach night tonight, okay? The Upper St. Clair student section really doing it all out.
I heard I was going to go in a slip and slide, but I haven't seen it yet. If I have to do it, I'm ready. I'm game all year. If we have some fun stuff at halftime, I'm ready to go. So just let me know.
We're searching for that slip and slide, but now it's time to take a look at those first half highlights and stats brought to you by Giant Eagle. And again, the Panthers up by 3 scores.
Yeah, up by 3 scores. And when we look at these stats, you'll notice that this defense has been unbelievable. 9 passing yards for Mount Lebo, 14 rushing yards. And on the other side, Upper St. Clair showing you having a quarterback start for the first time ever. You want to have a well-balanced attack. And when you have a senior running back like Banbury, who can really just pound the rock in the middle and then use that play action, go deep. We saw that one time as well. 8 first downs. The big thing that they're all unhappy about, look at those penalty yards for both teams, 44 for Upper St. Clair and 37 for Mount Lebo.
And that's exactly what head coach Mike Junko for the Panthers said going into the half. He's not really happy with how his team is playing right now. Maybe it's those first game jitters, but it's also really hard for the Panthers to be able to know what to do against a Mount Lebo team that's being coached by yet another new first-year head coach.
Yeah, and you'll look at some of these highlights. This Mount Lebo team is just making everything so difficult right now for Mount Lebo, Upper St. Clair, I meant, when you have guys like in the middle right there, number 55 for Upper St. Clair, William Grau, and then on the other side, you finally get a deep ball right here from Snyder to Smirnu, who's a really good baseball player too, but showing you can be a wide receiver. And Susie, you're in the background right there as that was all going on as well. And then hand the ball off for Banbury right here for that 1-yard score. Again, when you're in the red zone and you got a running back like that, give it to him. And then again, Mount Lebo, you have these miscues. There's a snap over your quarterback's head. You got to just kneel on it for the safety. And that's where you felt like the air kind of came out of Mount Lebanon right there for their student section. And Upper St. Clair kept rolling on offense. You see a screen pass right here from Snyder again to John Banbury. The senior goes all the way down to the 15-yard line, and we're about to see Snyder call his own number right here. Josh Snyder, who played running back, wide receiver last year. Now he's that full-time starting quarterback, little quarterback power right there for another score, and he's shouting out the student section right away as Upper St. Clair has dominated this game so far.
Coach Junko, again, not happy with his team, even saying they're not helping out quarterback Josh Snyder, who is in his first game under center. But now let's take a look at those out-of-town scores from some games around the Whitfield. We have Avonworth at Hopewell, and that might be
an upset.
That might be a little bit of an upset for week one, 14-7. Cannon McMillan, Peters Township, closer than we thought. Montour, 21-3 over Moon. And that's Central Catholic, Bergen Catholic. I mean, come on.
I'm not kidding, Susie. That might be the best game going on in the United States for high school football. That game should have been on our network, on national TV, everywhere. That game is great, but we're going to have Central Catholic many times this year. And again, then you look, Churchill's Valley's losing, like you said. North Hill's up 10-0 on North Allegheny. And
this
then
is unbelievable.
If that kid at Max scores right, what, are they playing a baseball game right now? It is 5-3. So there's been 2 field goals and a safety. In this game, we've seen a safety as well, but it shows you some of these teams are working out some jitters, and then some of these teams right away. James Boo Boo Armstrong, when you got a guy like that can take over a game, we'll be able to update you later on the broadcast, but I guarantee he's the reason they're up 14-7 right now.
And again, that's your Dick's Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard. A lot of upsets possibly for week one action, but that means we are in for a good 2026 season in the Whitfield. Second half action about to get underway again here at Upper St. Clair Stadium. Stay tuned. It's 21-0 at the half. The Panthers up over the Blue Devils. Matt and Arthur will be back with second half action after this.
Pittsburgh. Its long and proud heritage is beautifully preserved in the awe-inspiring buildings that surround it. In the places where we live, where we worship, where we work, and where we play. One company has been awarded the challenge of restoring all that great heritage for nearly 60 years. Mariani and Richards, restoring the heritage, preserving the pride.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now, meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
And we welcome you back here to Upper St. Clair and some of the headlines coming into the 2026 high school football season. Well, what star will shine brightest? Everybody knows about Keemon Spell, the 5-star Georgia commit, the #1 running back in the state and in the country. #1 running back at his position, Khalil Taylor at Pine Richland. Central Catholic got some dudes. They got a bunch of them Halter and Callis lead that offensive line. It also has a guy going to Penn State on it as well. Gabe Jenkins at Colorado. What stands out to you, Arthur?
I mean, obviously, when you talk Keemon Spell, we know when he gets that ball, he is so special. But I look at a guy like Gabe Jenkins, man. We know he's going to Colorado. Very, very productive player. Javion Robinson also gets overlooked at times because of how dominant Keemon Spell is. But Javion Robinson, man, is a heck of a player in his own regard, man, out there on the perimeter, wide receiver corner as well, man. So those are the guys that kind of stand out to me on this list. I love Boo Boo Armstrong at Hopewell. He right now has the Vikings leading the defending state champions in the Avonworth Antelopes. The Vikes were my preseason pick to win the Whitfield in 3A, and people started looking at me crazy because Avonworth brings back a lot of guys, including Jaden Jones, the 4-star at the home of the Lopes. But Duke Joncourt has created a dynasty there. They are continuing to do what they've been doing. So it's a little early to write anybody in, but I'm excited about it. The way Avonworth plays and what they bring back also, that is a physical team, man, well-coached team, doesn't do a lot to beat themselves. It's 4 quarters for a reason. I'll be waiting to see what that looks like when we get done. New coaches in new colors. 26 new head coaches in the WPIAL. Of course, at the top of that list, Bobby P. Let's go. Always great to see Bob Palco back in the building, man. An absolute legend in the Whitfield, man. It always brings great energy as well, man. Got a chance to work with him a little bit when we do some of the youth football camps with the Steelers over at West A. Beautiful facility. But he is one of the guys that is always out there, man. And like I said, man, just the passion that he has for football, it is so infectious. And like I said, a guy that I'm really just excited to see back doing what he loves. No doubt, back at his alma mater. And speaking of alma maters, Eric Kasparovich back at North Hills, and they're beating North Allegheny. They're going to build a statue if they beat the Tigers tonight. Dr. Dan Bradley, he's the revitalizer. He revitalizes programs. He brought Elwood City back to life. They had the longest losing streak in the WPIL, put them into the WPIL semifinals just a season ago. Before that, he took Ulsh to a Whitfield championship twice, won one of those. Stowe Rocks, he was the offensive coordinator at South Fayette when the Brumbaws were there. Can he revitalize Ambridge now in his second stint at the home of the Bridgers? We talked about Bruce Frank and what he's doing here at Mount Lebanon, and Tom Smith takes over at McKeesport. We talked about Keemon Spell and that tumultuous offseason that now has Tom Smith taking over, and of course George Smith. That is the name of that field over there at Waggle Schaefer Stadium in McKeesport. They're still looking for that next WPIL title. Absolutely. A lot of history over there, man. And like you said, man, they did have some, controversy this offseason, but Tom Smith is the guy to ultimately lead them through this. And when you got a guy like Keemon Spell and the way that he runs that football, that should help with Tom Smith in his first year taking over as well. And some teams went moving in the offseason. Of course, it was the realignment of the WPIAL and the PIAA. And this is what kind of happened in the shifting. Nothing happened in 6A. The 7 teams remained the same. In 5A, TJ, Trinity, West Allegheny all move up from 5A, and of course TJ and West Allegheny join Upper St. Clair in the Allegheny 6 Conference. In Class 4A, South Fayette, we just talked about them, Albert Gallatin, Uniontown. The powerhouse South Fayette joins. Oh, okay. All right, that seemed a little biased. But we'll see if the Lions are able to roar in 4A. We'll find out how that looks. 3A, you see Bell Vernon, Knock, West Mifflin, Aliquippa. Of course, Aliquippa winning their appeal to move down back to 3A. Can the Quips continue things? They, of course, won 4A, beating McKeesport a season ago. Our Lady of the Sacred Heart with their co-op moves them up to Class 3A. We'll see what happens with those teams as well. You see in 2A, McGuffey, Quaker Valley, and East Allegheny drop down. That's big news for those programs. Oh, absolutely. Trying to build. Neshannock and Bishop Canterbury. Bishop Canterbury elected to voluntarily move up. They wanted to play in 2A. And finally, Union dropping from 2A. Bentworth, Brentwood, Still Rocks, Wash High all moved down to single A. We'll see the Little Prexies in a few weeks. Absolutely. Looking forward to it as well. But a lot of interesting movement, though. Absolutely. All right, when we come back, the kickoff of the second half between Upper St. Clair and Mount Lebanon and the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week presented to you by Giant Eagle.
Second half of football between Upper St. Clair and Mount Lebanon for the 51st time in this backyard brawl. 4 miles separating the Panthers and the Blue Devils. Great shots from high above. Andrew Rush back with us. Greatest drone pilot. And we get you ready for this second half and clean up. Clean up, everybody do your share. That was the old saying in school growing up. I think both coaches might not have used those words, but the sentiment probably was around that time.
I mean, that's the beauty about language. There's so many ways to convey a message, but as long as the person receives it, that's all that matters. So I'm sure both of these coaches did an excellent job of getting their message across, and we will see how these teams respond to that conversation.
All right, from the 15, USC and Luca Corey. Corey sidestepping and coming up just shy of the 40-yard line, and that's the bad news for Mount Lebanon. They have the football to start this third quarter, a 23-yard return. And to talk more about Mount Lebanon, Susie Cole down on the sideline. Susie.
Bruce Frank at the half, and he said that his team's got to get a first down. Their field positioning has not been great so far, and defensively he feels like his Blue Devils are a little worn down. They haven't had great gap integrity. So tonight for Coach Frank, he's just hoping that his team can battle through adversity in this second half as his first game at head coach. Matt?
Yeah, I think that they've had it. That's a good way of putting it, Susie. The adversity, I think, some 50-50 calls have not gone their way, and they've put themselves in third and long situations, and the defense for USC has been licking their chops. How about John Banbury just bouncing off of tacklers, works up for a 9-yard pickup on first down. And this is, if you're a part of that offensive Clair offensive line, 21-point lead in the third quarter. Let's run the football, baby.
Oh, you better believe it. This is what the big guys love to do. And John Banbury, you can see he's starting to heat up. He's one of those guys, man, the more opportunities he gets to weigh on you, to punch you, to show that physical dominating presence, the harder it's going to be for Mount Lebo to sustain and ultimately stop them. And that's what you're hoping for to get one of these bigger runs to pop.
Snyder back to pass. Going to go deep with it, testing it, and overcooks it. Incomplete, trying to get it to Wyatt Sturdy.
And that's one of those young guys just getting used to the rhythm of it, man. Put a little bit more air into that pass, and it is a touchdown. But he'll learn that, man, just getting more in-game experience. But I love the aggressiveness. I love the call. And as a whole, man, they're getting what they want. Protection was beautiful right there. Just a little bit more air, so that way his receiver could run under that ball and catch it, and now you get another touchdown.
Sturdy had definitely beat the coverage there. They go back to the ground game to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. Banbury does the honors there into Lebo territory.
And you can see the difference, right, when we talk about when Luca Corey is in the backfield. A little bit more speed, a little bit more of the perimeter stuff. Here, they're running right at you with the physicality of John Banbury.
Back to pass. Snyder one more time on first down. Going to cook it over the middle of the field in traffic. This time incomplete. Holtzschlag, the intended receiver. And that one was well covered by Lebo. 3 men in the vicinity.
Yeah, and I wonder, was this predetermined that he was going to take this shot? Because you do see the close proximity of 3 defenders, the safety cheating over there as well. But I do like what he was trying to do by holding the safety with his eyes, but unfortunately wasn't able to get the connection with that throw.
Draw play to Banbury, and, that's pretty nice when you throw the incomplete pass and then you second down and long, and Banbury picks up 9 yards, and you're right back to 3rd and short.
I mean, you're spot on. That's part of why Coach Junko is being a little bit more aggressive here and allowing Josh Snyder to put the ball in the air more. He knows that he's able to pick up 6 yards per clip every time he's running the football right now, so it gives him a little bit of relief.
3rd and 1. Ground game for Corey. Corey picks up enough for a USC first down, and Clock winds here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and Corey's dealing with some cramping a little bit here, man. So that's one of those good things when you're talking about Coach Junko, being able to have a guy like John Banbury to go back to. Right here, you have to feel really good about that in terms of keeping your running game alive and offense on schedule.
Low snap handled by Snyder. Got it right into the belly of John Banbury. And he is a football player, man, like in the best way. Just is not afraid of the contact. He gets 15 yards on that carry.
I mean, to me, this is a true Western PA type of football player, man. Hard-nosed, tough runner of the football on offense, but then you watch him on defense. We highlighted the sack that he had to start the game off. Physical as well on defense. So just a true whip pill guy right here, man. Really excited to watch him tonight.
Option play, and Snyder keeps, shrugs off one and down deeper inside the Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union red zone.
And I like this drive by Coach Jonko also, man. When we talk about trying to take the will of a person or take the will of a team, these methodical drives where you're seeing them run the football, that just is so deflating if you're on defense and you're witnessing this happen to you.
Carrying forward, Banbury spun out of one and carries it down to the one. He loves contact.
I love to see that as well, man, because when we talk about how the game has evolved and how it is a little bit more spread out, playing more basketball on grass, what we like to call it at times, it's good to see the old school style of players, the John Banburys, who isn't afraid to run behind a fullback. Shout out to young Nevin Sheegan up front, giving him a nice block in the hole. And then from there, you see him keeps the legs churning. Don't go down on first contact and ultimately falling in and responding with a touchdown.
There he is, plunging into the end zone for the Upper St. Clair touchdown. John Banbury, second one of the night. Panthers add another TD here in the third, and I think athletic director and basketball coach Danny Holzer got perked up when you said basketball on grass. He got all excited.
Listen, man, we will wait, all right? Basketball season for a couple of months, and we know obviously it's a big guy, number 78, that will be helping them out in a major way as well. But beautiful to see John Banbury give me some old school football right there, plunging through the trenches for the touchdown.
Yeah, Ryan Robbins, a big part of that basketball team, as the right foot of Can Smith puts it through the poles. USC basketball back-to-back-to-back WPIAL champs, trying to make it a four-peat. Upper St. Clair trying to make it a five-peat over Lebo on the showcase. We'll be back.
75% of all domestic violence homicides happen after an arrest. Take control and protect yourself with our jail release notification app. Hope and healing starts here. Save a life. Donate now.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
The one phone call that I made to Edgar Snyder changed my life forever.
I told Kristen, let us take care of the legal side of things. Your job is to get your treatment and get better. This is what we do day in and day out.
I'm there to listen to them. That's what I'm here for. Even if you just need to vent, you can always call me.
It just made me feel like I was understood and heard.
What's up, Pittsburgh? This is Matt Fargo. Join us this Friday for the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle, as the McKeesport Tigers battle the Montour Spartans. Catch all the action under the Friday Night Lights at 7 p.m. on KDKA+. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by UPMC Sports Medicine, Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, Octane Customs, your brand on the move. I might get in trouble saying it, but I think the Upper St. Clair student section might be the best in the WPIAL.
Wow. I don't even know what to say to this, man. I'm trying not to get in trouble with you, okay?
If you saw this release video of their theme.
Listen, I'm with you. But still, you know, have ties. Local.
I know.
Okay? I'm not getting in trouble with you tonight, man.
I'm just, I'm being unbiased and have an opinion. And we go touch back into the back of the end zone. I think Susie has more on that.
I'm nervous.
Let's go down to
I really do, Matt and Arthur. I mean, that student section over here for Upper St. Clair, it is notorious in the WPIAL, and there is good reason why. Look at them tonight. It's week 1, and they are decked out in a beach theme. There are leis, there are beach balls, there are fatheads in that student section tonight, water guns, you name it, they got it, and they are playing into this theme. It's no doubt that they are one of the best student sections in the WPIAL, if not the best. Matt?
Well, I think they might have heard that our good friend, WPIAL insider Carlos Zofko, put a $500 prize to the best student section at the end of the season. And I don't know. They're off to a hot start. Also, congratulations to the Zofkos. New baby insider was born earlier today, so congratulations.
No, absolutely, man. And yes, this student section, for it to be week 1, man, the way that they're showing up, amazing, right? But we got to see, can they sustain it, okay? Anybody could do a week 1. All right, before we start crowning champs after that.
Way to defend them. I like it.
Non-biased.
I think we saw Zaber there cramping up again. Man, future's bright for him, what he's been able to do, and maybe what has also been called back for him. That return was electric. Rolling Whitehead to throw and overthrows his intended receiver. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd down coming up here for Brody Whitehead. And while we were explained at least that we could see Grant Eberhardt, we have not seen him. It's been Brody Whitehead, who is the sophomore quarterback.
And I think the frustrating thing for Coach Frank, it's hard to even evaluate what you've seen from Brody tonight because of all of the negative plays that have happened in all 3 phases. So a lot of the times he's had the ball backed up, 3rd and extremely long. Even this play, 3rd and 10. It's just, this isn't good. This isn't the recipe for success, especially for young players.
No doubt. Throwing it, it's intercepted. Picked off on the play. Evan Smirnew takes away the football for the Panthers.
And we saw the 6'5" junior catch the touchdown earlier in the first half. Now he's coming back and creating a turnover on the defensive side of the ball. And you see how hype he is right there with his guys, coaching staff included. Big time play, though. And once again, another positive play for the Upper St. Clair team as a whole. And unfortunately, another issue that was brought upon themselves for that Mount Lebo offense.
$28-0. Panthers with the lead. Another look at the INT.
And you can see, man, he's trying to roll, get out the pocket a little bit, felt a little bit of pressure, throws off the back foot. And right there, man, you can see a beautiful job right there by Evan Smirnew. Nice read, hands catch, big time turnover. And now we're flipping the field. Upper St. Clair set up in plus position. Let's see how aggressive they get.
Option play, keeping and waltzing into the end zone. Josh Snyder for the 2nd time tonight. Gets into the end zone 22 yards away for the Panther touchdown.
We talked about the second half. We've really seen Josh show more of his athleticism, right? The dual threat ability. Right here, he fakes the run play, follows it up right in the inside, QB keeper. Nice blocking down the field. You see 14, Anthony Smirner getting a nice block on the perimeter. And then from there, Josh Snyder doing the rest, getting into the end zone and extending this lead now 34 points in the 3rd quarter.
Snyder is getting stretched out after cramping after getting into the end zone there. And as they tend to him, we will step aside. 34-0 USC.
At Market District, we know the power of great taste. So we find flavor. We hand pick. From global finds to family favorites. We cultivate everything at Market District to feed your foodie fire. Because bringing great taste to you inspires better taste in all.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
This fall, D3 college football returns to KDKA Plus as we showcase matchups from across the President's Athletic Conference. The season kicks off with Widener facing Geneva on September 5th at 3 p.m. only on KDKA Plus.
Third quarter action, 34-0. USC leading Mount Lebanon. There's your drive summary. Kelly Automotive, Mike Kelly Kia drive recap. One of the great players in the WPIL spells his name K-I-A, but it's Kai. Kai Jones of St. LaSalle. So I got caught doing that on the podcast.
Hey.
And I was saying Kia.
It's the little details,
yeah,
man.
Right, just throwing it out there.
Come on now.
Thinking about it.
Hey, Bruce Frank will be happy with that, though. Remember, that's about the little things.
It is about those. And we were talking about athletic director Danny Holzer at Upper St. Clair, of course, winning another WPIL basketball championship, trying to be the first team to ever win 4 in the biggest classification. And there's a good bit of players on this football roster that also will lace them up when it's winter play basketball season time. And shout out to my man Gavin Williams, who is an assistant coach on that squad and also does the play-by-play for Upper St. Clair during the season. So shout out to my man Gavin. And we were talking about Danny Holzer. We also got to give a shout out to Danny Bonventura, who is the athletic director at Mount Lebanon, newly named AD at Lebo, coming over from Robert Morris to the home of the Blue Devils. So welcome to Danny.
Let's go, Bobby Moe.
Even these rivals have athletic directors named the same.
You see it everywhere. There's so many connections, man.
Touchback, 6:53 to go in the third. And USC out to a pretty dominating lead here in the opening week of high school football. Some pretty interesting games, though. A couple more games going to be played at Woodland Hills tomorrow. Off the right side, new ball carrier in for Mount Lebanon.
But we're definitely at the stage of the game where it's a lot of cramping going on. We got another player down. It's pretty much been like this pretty much the second half, man. That's the early part of the year, though. We understand that anytime you're transitioning from the summer training to putting on those pads, and then you make that transition from practice to actual game, this is very common. Very, very common.
That was Jamie Hassel on that carry for Lebo. And with week one in the high school football season kicking off, that means there's more high school football to come. And next Friday, we got a great one for you. McKeesport goes to Montour. The #1 running back in the country, Keemon Spell, takes his Tigers to Thomas J. Burko Stadium to take on Brandon Bennett and the Montour Spartans. Tigers, next Friday right here on KDKA+.
You do not want to miss that one right there. If you have not had a chance to see Keemon Spell and what he's been doing over at McKeesport, you are in for a treat if you get a chance to tap in next week.
In this game, I mean, it's been super dominating by USC. The yards are 205 to -9, and the first downs are 12-3.
Honestly, it feels right when you think about how much negative plays Mount Lebo has had, whether they've created them or Upper St. Clair and that defensive front created them. Now you throw in the turnover in there as well, and that's a recipe for disaster. Definitely everything that you would hope to not have done tonight is what the Mount Lebo Blue Devils are unfortunately doing.
Hassel on the left side picks up a first down, gets pulled down out of bounds. Sam Bunn on the tackle for USC. And, you know, this game obviously decided, but it's also a fun time of the year for some young guys on the opening night of high school football to get their first taste of Friday Night Lights. And that's a pretty special moment, that first time you're walking out in a varsity jersey in a game.
Oh, yeah, and you could never substitute experience. That's what we're seeing right now, obviously with Brody Whitehead. But for a lot of these kids, man, this is their first opportunity. So when you get out there, you work through the nerves. You're also going to get used to the speed of it, the physicality that is associated with playing varsity high school football, specifically in the Whip Hill, which is a massive step up from where they were playing at, whether they're talking JV, middle school ball. So for these guys, man, anybody that's getting a chance to get out there tonight, man, you take that and take full advantage of it, because this is just the start to a long season.
You remember that moment for you?
Oh, absolutely, man. Never forget it. True freshman year playing, starting on varsity, and I was actually able to get a pick 6 to win it, man.
Okay, nice.
That screen pass that we saw earlier, that's why I called it out. I'm like, I did that exact play right there, man.
Hassel rustled down there in the backfield. That's a pretty memorable first game, Moats.
Well, when we talk about the connections, right? Yeah. I was playing against the school that my father had taught at for 20 years.
And you had to do it to him like that.
So I literally have pictures of myself 4 or 5 years old wearing the jerseys from that high school, being a part of that just alumni area. But then it's like, man, my first varsity start, we're playing across town now. And, yes, I was able to get an interception to win the game, man, run it back, name in the paper back then, because that's what we did. So shout out to the Virginia Pilot.
Yeah, I was going to say we have that black and white footage here to pull up. No,
I'm
kidding.
You know, it's some kids that are listening right now that are going to be like, is he really that old? Did he really play back then? Jeez.
Oh, man. Fourth down here for Lebo. We'll bring the punt unit out. Maxton Siegel. Coach really excited about Maxton this year. He was at our Steelers Showcase Media Day. Another question for you, Moats, after this punt. As it's fair caught and kind of leaned into it a little bit, wanting that contact. With 3:13 to go here in the third. But I was asking Bruce Frank this, and I knew I was going to get a coach speak answer, so I'm going to ask you, this is an interclassification game, but don't tell these two communities that it's a rivalry game. However, in your first year and knowing what you have in store in Central Catholic and North Allegheny and Canon-Mac, Seneca Valley, those teams, how much do you not want to show them? It's almost like preseason with the Steelers of Coach McCarthy doesn't want to show all of your cards in the preseason, especially being a first-year head coach.
Yeah, from the coach's standpoint, you're absolutely right. And he can't communicate that publicly because of the messaging that does for this team. You can't turn that switch on and off.
Right.
But internally, I'm sure in his private meetings with his coaching staff, that's for sure something that's being communicated, because you don't want to waste all of your best stuff in a game that realistically doesn't have any type of bearing on your season and what you want to accomplish this year. So to a degree, you get certain things you want to see on tape. You want to get experience for certain guys, right? We talked about Brody Whitehead, first start. But outside of that, yeah, we're carrying all of the important stuff into the games that are going to matter a lot more for us in terms of when we get back to conference play.
Well, we were talking about next man up and people getting that new opportunity. Well, that exists in broadcasting too. A lot of our crew here tonight stepping up and stepping in, because of a lot of our crew is at one of our dear members' wedding. Corey Berger got married earlier today. Congratulations to the Bergers. Awesome, and congratulations. Very happy for both of them and the newlyweds. Congratulations.
Love is in the air.
Oh,
love is in the air. And I appreciate you sacrificing not being at the wedding tonight so you could be here.
Corey and Angela, great job. Congrats. Absolutely would have loved to be there, but sometimes when you're in the world of sports, you miss the holidays, you miss the weddings, and would have loved to be there. But we're glad that Jake and Evan and Matt and the crew were able to go and support them. It's
big fan
bigger
of
than
love, man.
Yeah, it's bigger than sports and bigger than work. But thanks to this crew with us here tonight that is putting on a great show and stepping up to get us going here in the first game of the 2026 season.
Maybe we'll have another marriage or a wedding next weekend. You never know, man.
I hope not.
It feels like love is in the air. Clearly, we know how football games can get and how they can just inspire those feelings inside. Okay. So, man, you never know, man.
Right.
Matter of fact, we just have a dating show out here next time.
Oh,
okay?
my goodness.
Just throw a dating show out here, Yins, all right? Then we'll be good to go.
That was the black and white joke. I deserve that. That was. We know your film was in full color.
I appreciate you on that. Okay,
we
thank you. Felt the tact right there.
Oh goodness. Third down coming up here for USC. Keeping Josh Snyder in at quarterback. He's still learning after all. First start of his career.
Yeah, we talked about it, right? We said Ethan Hellman, the guy he replaced, 4-year starter at the varsity level. That's a ton of experience, a ton of production that you lose. And the only way to get Josh up to speed is by allowing him to get reps, and that's what you're getting right now. And I thought he played well tonight, or continues to play well in this opportunity for himself. Has protected the ball, has shown that he can throw the ball. We talk about some of the touch. That first touchdown pass, I thought I loved the touch in terms of the air on it. We saw some of the throws in the second half, a little bit less air, a little bit more zip, and how it kind of got him into a little bit of a bind. But you could also see where the legs, and that's something that we didn't necessarily know a ton of, but now you're seeing it from the quarterback position and how he's able to utilize them both at the same time, and it looked good tonight.
Grady Elias, the center as they go under center and hand it off to Holtzschlag. And denied there the first down marker, so it'll be a flipping of the football here.
And I do like the fact that Asa Alubidi, number 44, man, not taking no for an answer. He doesn't care what the score is. He's just concerned about making plays. His job is to go see the ball and make a tackle. And that's what you're seeing him do right there, even at this stage, which is always refreshing as a defender because you don't get to determine what the score is when you go out there. All you can do is your job.
That's Max Ligger on the that last carry. And there is another cramp. This time it's an Upper St. Clair player that is down. Of course, we're in running clock territory with the 35-0 lead. So there's a great shot. Full moon on a opening Friday night. Why not?
Couldn't ask for anything better. Come on now.
Beautiful night here at Pittsburgh South Hills, 69 degrees. Let's go down to Susie.
Panthers head coach Mike Junko and his team has potential. Coach believes this USC team is one of 4 or 5 teams in the 5A class that has a true shot at making it down to Acrisure come November. And the Panthers, they have the talent, athleticism, and the legacy. Now it's all about putting it together consistently for the next 10 Friday nights. So, Matt and Arthur, remember that word as the Panthers continue to play in 2026, potential.
I think that's exactly what they have, Arthur. They certainly don't have it all figured out, but they certainly have potential. They will need to figure it out entering Allegheny 6 play because if you don't figure it out, you will find out.
Very easily in a hurry, yes.
35-0 after 3. We'll play a fourth when we come back to the Steelers High School Showcase presented by Giant Eagle on KDKA+. A deep ball here that's caught and going all the way to the end zone.
You might not see the people's pipelines that deliver you safe, reliable natural gas every day because they are out of sight, hiding beneath your feet. But what's out of your sight is not out of our minds. We move through busy city streets to upgrade the infrastructure that served our region for decades, using state-of-the-art materials that reduce emissions to power homes and businesses with essential energy for generations to come. That's people's commitment to making your life better.
This is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. It's time for the Subaru A Lot to Love event. 0% financing for up to 72 months on new 2026 Subaru Ascents, Crosstreks, Foresters, and Outbacks. Bud Bear Subaru, Route 19 South Washington. Come see us. Visit us online at budbearsubaru.com or call 724-222-0700.
The honest dealer, believably different. Bud Bear.
Big features, bold style, and even bigger savings at Mike Kelly Kia. Lease an all-new 2026 Kia Seltos for $149 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing. Visit us at Mike Kelly Kia, Route 8 Butler. Big features, bold style, and even bigger savings at Mike Kelly Kia. Lease an all-new 2026 Kia Seltos for $149 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing. Visit us at Mike Kelly Kia, Route 8 Butler.
Our blueprint.
Pass goes incomplete as we start the fourth quarter of play here. Back at Upper St. Clair Steelers Showcase alongside Arthur Moats. I am Matt Fargo. Susie Cools down on the sidelines. Our entire JRM Sports crew bringing you the sights and sounds of Friday nights all season long here on KDKA+. Buckle up for another Exciting season of high school football. Excited to bring it to you. Handed off. Does Lebo. Al-Buddy. Asa Al-Buddy getting the carry.
Yeah, we're starting to see some of the rotational guys get opportunities on that Upper St. Clair defense as well, man. Some of those younger players making some plays out there, man. Dudes that we typically don't see. But once again, man, this is how you build your depth. This is how you create championship caliber teams. We talk about Coach Junko wanting to go further and actually win it all this year in terms of the Whip Hill. You got to have guys. You got to have depth. You have to have multiple options to go to at times.
Oh, in trouble. Whitehead goes down. Another sack for this Panther defense.
And you see it. Talk about multiple options. Right there, you get big number 50 up front, Connor Holt, making the play with a plethora of other defenders as well, man. Number 24, obviously we know Ian Stubenrick. And that's what you want to see, man. When we start to rotate guys out, can we still get the concepts executed? Can we still have production? And that's what you're seeing right there from the Upper St. Clair Panthers on defense.
That was Upper St. Clair's 5th sack of the night. Forces a punt. Maxton Siegel to the 15. And Andrew Gaither juking jibe into the 20. 9:30 to play here in the 4th.
I mean, you talk about the 5 sacks. We know 2 of them came from big number 55, Will Stoll, early on, man. He really set the tone in those trenches defensively. And we never saw Mount Lebo find an answer for the trenches. And that was the one thing that we talked about early on with Upper St. Clair, that they should have an advantage there. We know Ryan Robbins on the offensive side of the ball, the Penn State commit at left tackle. But we talked about the other guys and what they bring in terms of that veteran experience on both sides. And they have controlled this line of scrimmage all night.
They certainly have.
And it looks like now we are getting the second unit in there, man. The big starters, man, Ryan Robbins, Will Stoll, Grady Elias, Anthony Bunn, and Jake Gillespie are now pulled out the lineup, man. So get those guys a break, man. They did an excellent job tonight. And now get some of these younger guys some opportunities.
New quarterback in is Matt Caesar. And that goes to Liger. Tracked down for a loss. And this is the advantage if Upper St. Clair has success. You get your next man up some reps in varsity. And that really, I think, helped Josh Schneider last year, and it's going to help Matt Caesar this year if the Panthers can control many games.
And you're absolutely right. That is the best way to get in-game experience, in-game reps. Get a substantial lead, and now you allow these younger guys to come in less pressure situations while still getting game reps. And that's critical, man, for guys' development. We saw that with Josh Schneider, and it was really on display tonight. He didn't look as if this is his first time ever playing quarterback. Like he's had an opportunity or two before, and that's due to how well Ethan Hellman had this Upper St. Clair offense humming over the past 4 years.
Some laundry. Great night here in the South Hills as Caesar delivers for a first down. Subinraj on the reception.
And right here, man, nice job by the young quarterback, Matthew Caesar. Just getting out the pocket, getting to the edge, delivering a nice catchable pass. And then from there, man, you see the reception on the end. Good pickup, first down, keep the drive alive. And these are just good, valuable reps. This is what you don't get in practice because you're seeing the same people. But right here, these are valuable opportunities for this group.
That's Austin Sullivan on the reception. A little bit of pressure here coming Lebo, and they go right around it. Liger again on the carry. We're talking about Mike Junko's father, Bob, who, of course, was a legendary assistant coach at Pitt. He served under 9 Pitt head coaches, starting with the legendary Foge Fazio in 82 to 85, and then he was ready to work for Johnny Majors in 1997, but Walt Harris took over for Majors as this pass completed for a yard. And then Walt Harris hired Junko as the defensive tackles coach. He's been on the staff at Pitt for every coach since then, of course, a legendary coach, and now gets to take in Friday nights from the stands.
He's earned it, man. When you talk about longevity, you talk about just an understanding of coaching, but more importantly, an understanding of how to communicate with players. That's what you love to see right there, man. And you talk about that family, man. They've done an awesome job of just creating that atmosphere, that situation for this team, and just for football players in general coming out of Western Pennsylvania.
Great job sliding down, making that catch. Finn Core, the senior, hauling it in. Be first down at 10 for the Panthers as Caesar gets a fresh set of downs to work with. Nice run there, stretching it out. Reese Davis, not the commentator on college football, the running back at Upper St. Clair.
And I tell you what, man, the physical nature of that run. Just watch this finish right here, bursting in between the tackles, but watch him accelerate through the contact, man, and make sure he's the hammer and not the nail. We obviously see the unfortunate side of being on the receiving end of that play for the defender, but nice run from Reese Davis.
Another carry there to the 40. And the clock churning here, 4 minutes to go. Panthers, you know, don't tell this unit they don't want to punch another one into the end zone. They'd be just happy with that. Straight ahead running for USC. Noah Brown gets a carry there.
And this is also the fun part too, man, for these younger players. Man, right now we know that, yeah, they don't see a lot of opportunities in normal games. But in a situation like this where they have this type of lead, this is a valuable opportunity, and they're actually going to be trying to score. Granted, we won't see the aggressive play call per se, but they're still going to be out here trying to execute those concepts, and that's the part for Mount Lebo to see can they operate with discipline, which unfortunately the theme for them tonight has been self-inflicted issues, not having the most discipline. And yes, I'm sure Coach Frank is going to have a lot to say to them about all of these self-inflicted issues come later tonight and tomorrow when those guys get back together to watch the film.
And I think, you know, Mike Junko kind of talked to it at the half that he was adamant that there's some things that needed to be fixed, and that's to be expected in the first week of the season. Caesar on the money. Reception, Connor Cheatwood.
And that was a really nice throw right there. You can see the patience from Matthew Caesar as he rolls out the pocket and then delivering a highly accurate strike up the sideline. Nice catch. And if you're Coach Junko, this is what you're doing this for. You want to see the young guy get valuable reps, get valuable opportunities, and show that he can deliver. And that's what he's doing right now. Nice throw and catch.
Carry straight ahead. Third down and 1 here for USC as the clock dwindles. Under a minute to go now, Caesar. Loses a yard. They're just going to take the knee and take the week 1 win. Upper St. Clair makes it 5 in a row against Mount Lebanon, a 35-0 shutout of the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils here on home turf in senior night to open up the 2026 season. We'll come back with our post-game show as Upper St. Clair victorious over Mount Lebanon, and you've been watching it all here on the Steelers High School Showcase, presented to you by Giant Eagle.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists.
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance. Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
You worked hard to get through high school. Now build a future of your own. With the Laborers Union, start earning right away. No student loan debt, just hands-on experience and state-of-the-art training at no cost. Strong wages, real benefits. From day one, you're earning, learning, and moving toward your own truck, your own home, real independence. Build a career you're proud of. Become a member at laborparecruit.com.
So I ran some numbers. You guys might want to consider moving. Somewhere else? I doubt it.
These shall ease your grievous throat most readily.
Or maybe a saltwater gargle.
Sold. Congratulations, sir. That is a new record.
You realize a JPEG doesn't count as a financial plan, right?
Maybe. I mean, yes. No.
PNC Bank believes a little boring advice goes a long way.
What's up, Pittsburgh? This is Matt Fargo. Join us this Friday for the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle, as the McKeesport Tigers battle the Montour Spartans. Catch all the action under the Friday Night Lights at 7 p.m. on KDKA+.
75% of all domestic violence homicides happen after an arrest. Take control and protect yourself with our jail release notification app. Hope and healing starts here. Save a life. Donate now.
Thursday Night Football is back, and 2 proud 5A programs are ready for the spotlight. Moon travels to Bethel Park for the WPIAL Insider Thursday Night Primetime. Coverage begins Thursday at 6 with the WPIAL Insider Roadshow, driven by Bowser, followed by Moon at Bethel Park at 7, presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. Watch it all live on Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
What's up, Pittsburgh? This is Matt Fargo. Join us this Friday for the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle, as the McKeesport Tigers battle the Montour Spartans. Catch all the action under the Friday Night Lights at 7 p.m. on KDKA+. And we welcome you back here to Upper St. Clair. They're victorious 35-0 over Mount Lebanon here at the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, Week 1. Susie Cole has our Macero Construction Player of the Game.
Thanks, Matt. We're down here tonight with John Banbury, who is our Macero Construction Player of the Game, receiver, tight end for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. You had a couple of touchdowns, a couple of tackles as well, John. So how will you continue to lead this team as a senior this year?
I just look forward.
All right, thanks, Susie. Apologize for technical difficulties there at the back half of that interview with John, but a tremendous performance, 2 touchdowns tonight for John. And, man, he's going to be a bread and butter back the rest of the season for these Panthers, especially as we get Josh Snyder acclimated into his starting role. They're going to rely on the running game early on, and he's done a fantastic job to this point.
His physicality, you lean on the ability to see him run the football, but also make tackles on defense, right? And I thought that, man, his physical presence.
His physical presence was impressive tonight.
It was so physical, it even shook the upper room where we're at right now. But I will say this, man. As a whole, what John Barry presents, though, that's what you want, right? It takes so much pressure off of your young quarterback, and it really allows your offense to stay in rhythm. And that was the difference tonight compared to Mount Lebo, who, when we saw them get the ball on offense, they had so many self-inflicted issues. They were never able to get into a rhythm or a routine. And when that happens, it puts too much pressure on your young quarterback.
No question, and welcome back up into the broadcast booth. That's Arthur Moats, Matt Fargo with you. And, I think that for both of these sides, for Bruce Frank, it's your first game, and you're playing a rival, and you're playing a team that's going to compete for a 5A title. And as we talked about a little bit, not showing too much of what you have in store. You're working through your quarterback situation. I think that there's some positives to take away if you're Mount Lebanon, and the ball might have bounced one way or the other tonight, but certainly there's things to build on moving forward.
Well, for me, man, when I think of just the way that Mount Lebo couldn't get out of their own way, that's part of the storyline. But right here, you see early on, John Banbury showing the physical presence, running behind those big guys up front, controlling the line of scrimmage. Then from there, we get the young quarterback throwing it, interception right there, number 14. Anthony Smyrner doing what he does, and that was another big part of this game, man, when you got that interception, and then to follow it right up with the nice touchdown run, QB getting after it, the young guy Josh Snyder getting it done with his legs, and that was the impressive part. And I thought he was celebrating here. He was actually cramping. Who would have thought?
Well, it was a fun one here in the first of our Steeler High School Showcase Game of the Weeks. Week 1 of the books. Upper St. Clair gets it done 35-0 over Mount Lebanon. For Arthur Moat, Susie Cole, David McDermott, I'm Matt Fargo. Thanks to our producer, Gino Bonity, director, Joe Solar, executive producer, Jake McSlipchick, and our entire JRM video crew for bringing you the opening night of high school football. This has been the Steelers High School Showcase presented by Giant Eagle. The KDKA 10 o'clock news is next. We'll talk to you next week when McKeesport takes on Montour. Good night from Upper St. Clair, and good night, Steelers Nation.